Hello, my fellow humans, and welcome back to Scatter Love Tarot with your girl, coming at you with another pick a card reading. Today, we are doing, by request of source, the channeled message of this was so intense. I actually had other pick a cards set for today that were also channeled messages, but source said, no, this takes precedence over all, and that is, what are the messages from your ancestors? Or really, this is your ancestors have a message for you. That's what this is. We're going to find out what those messages are. First and foremost, I just want to say thank you so much to those of you that continue to support this channel, to show up for this community, and to participate in being a part of this marvelous tribe. I'm truly honored and blessed to be sharing this space and time with you. And for those of you that are new here, welcome. This is that reminder that we are all here sharing this human experience, and that this is a safe space for you to come as your highest, most aligned, authentic, loving self. Remember that these are general readings, so take what resonates and leave what does not, knowing that as you interact with the channel by liking, commenting, and subscribing down below, it does allow me an opportunity to directly connect with your energy and get you out more resonant readings. Also, if you are interested in supporting the channel further, you will always find those links down below in the description box. In order to do so, you may email me for a personal reading and I will get you out further information from there. And you also have the opportunity to follow me on over to my podcast at Scatter Love Radio, which is just a fun, chill hangout session with yours truly. And I really hope to see you over there. If you are wondering how to become a member, as memberships are now up and running, there is a join button down below next to the subscribe button where it used to be or still is. When you click on that, it'll show you the 3 levels I have available, as well as what comes with each level. You're looking at customized emojis to use, personalized badges that will appear next to your name. There are going to be member-only posts and polls where you'll get to help determine future pick-a-card readings. You have on 2 options early access to pick-a-card readings, and on one of them there are membership-only readings. So I do hope that you find a level that works for you, and I see you over there. If not, I'm still honored to have you here on this channel. This is where it all started. So with that, let's go ahead and jump into the prayer and we'll get your reading underway. I'm going to go ahead and use the Rebel Oracle deck today because this is the one that I got to actually talk to my grandmother and my mother, so ancestors. And that's the one that they wanted today. I was actually going to try and bring out the Talisman Oracle, but they were like, no, we're going to use the Rebel Oracle today. And I said, okay. So sometimes you just can't question those messages that come through, right? All right, perfect. My beloved source, this prayer is for any and all who come on to this reading today. May the messages be clear. May they be concise. May they be what they need to hear. Not what they want to hear in this time, but what they need to hear to instigate healing and to instigate inner understanding and understanding of where the journey is, understanding of what tasks and projects that they took on to help heal ancestral bloodlines and to help heal the world's ancestry line as well. Sometimes the messages aren't direct from our ancestors, but from the world ancestry line as well. And from that, we can gain a deeper understanding. In this, I ask you to open up the Akashic records to us in this time. I ask for you to help deepen our psychic powers, to help deepen our heart understanding and inner standing, to help deepen our knowing that that which is for us, and that which is not, we are able to walk away from easily and effortlessly. I ask that you bring a clarity unto the hearts of those that come onto this reading and into this space and become a part of this tribe, or are only here for just a moment's time. May you help bring them to the love that you offer, the truth that you are, and the truth that we are all absolutely magnificent, beautiful, glorious, and imperfectly perfect expressions of your energy. And may we all be brave enough to show up as our truest, authentic, loving selves. As these words are spoken unto this reading and into this space, so shall they be. Amen. Aho, Ase. Thank you, thank you, thank you, my beloved source. Thank you so, 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 so much. All right, let me get this out of the way. Now, I've got them shuffled here for you. Now I have to show you. I was already going to do this message before I even pulled out my cards. Okay, and you might be like, oh yeah, she just pulled them out. But if you've been on my channel long enough, you know this stuff happens to me all the time, right? So I pulled out my Earth Magic cards and I was like, okay, I guess I'm going to do that Ancestors message. I opened the box and on the bottom was this card. And I never remember what's on the bottom of them when I put them away because I'm just in a hurry to put them away to move on to the next thing, which maybe I shouldn't be. But then it really got me when I pulled out my yin yang cards and this was on the bottom, the alchemy card with ancestor guides. Okay, like next level. I was like, all right, so this is a must. Look, we have karma peeking out, balance and justice. So they want to talk about your justice. They want to talk about your balancing out the karma. That's definitely a message that's going to come through. I feel like that's going to resonate with all three piles today. That blew my mind. Okay, like I was like, all right, so you guys are being real today. Not that they're not ever being real, but you know. All right, so we're going to get one of these, the Rebel cards that I have here. I just absolutely love, 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 love this deck. And as you can see, it already instigates ancestral connection here with the baby, the mom, and the grandmother. So source, for pile number 1, what Rebel Oracle card will help us better understand the messages from their ancestors for pile number 1, source? Okay, that's the one they want. Thank you, source. And for pile number 2, source, what Rebel Oracle card will help us better understand the messages from their ancestors for pile number 2? Thank you. Okay, and for pile number 3, source, what Rebel Oracle card will help us better understand the messages from their ancestors for pile number 3? 1 card, source. And if you're wondering what that whirring noise is in the back, that's my air conditioner turning on and off, okay? So I don't have control over it. It just decides to come on when it's too hot, and it turns off when it's back where it needs to be. What is already with you is on the bottom here. So it does look like you're opening up to receive some sort of transformation across the board. This is going to have to do with your heart. This is the message that's coming through for me. Okay, so let me go ahead and get these set up here. Today is a Choose Your Amethyst day, of course. So for pile number 1, we have this beautiful piece of amethyst for you to choose from. I can already feel like this is going to be an extensive message. For pile number 2, we have this piece of amethyst shard for you to choose from. Okay, and for pile number 3, we have this piece of amethyst for you to choose from. Okay, so pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3, whichever one you feel drawn to, that should be the pile for you. And with that being said, I will see you over on your chosen pile. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this beautiful piece of amethyst, or if you were drawn to this card during the shuffle, then this is going to be a reading on messages from your ancestors. We're going to find out what those are. See if I can get that set up. There we go. We'll check this out later. First thing, though, I do want to take a quick second to thank anyone and everyone that continues to support this channel, to show up and be a part of this incredible community and tribe. I'm truly honored and blessed to have you here and share this time and space with you. And for those of you that are new here, welcome. Thank you so much for coming on. This is that reminder that we are all here having this human experience. and that this is a safe space for you to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. Also, keep in mind that these are general readings, so please take what resonates, leave what does not, knowing that as you interact with the channel by liking, commenting, and subscribing below, it does allow me an opportunity to directly connect with your energy and get you out more resonant readings. And if you are interested in supporting the channel further, you will always find those links down below in the description box necessary to do so. You can email me for a personal reading and I'll get you out further information from there. You can also follow me on over to my podcast at Scatter Love Radio, which is a fun, chill hangout session with yours truly. And I do hope to see you there. Now, if you'd like to support the channel further and become a member, they are live now. There's a join button down below next to where the subscribe button is or used to be. If you click on that, it will show you the 3 levels that I do have available for you and what comes with each level. You're looking at customized emojis that you get to use, personalized badges that show up next to your name. There are going to be membership-only posts and polls where you'll get to determine the future pick-a-card readings for the channel. On 2 of the levels, there are early access to all pick-a-card readings, and for 1 of the levels, there are membership-only readings available to you. So I do hope that you find something that works for you, and if not, thank you for your continued support here. But let's go ahead and get into it today. Your ancestors have a message for you. It was overwhelming, the channeled message I got before I even started this reading today. So we're going to go ahead and get into it and find out what those messages are. Okay, so let's start. Source, what are the messages from pile number 1's ancestors? So pile number 1 ancestors, what are your messages for pile number 1? Pile number 1's ancestors of highest light and love, what are your messages for pile number 1? What would you like to say to pile number 1 today? Pile number 1's ancestors, what are your messages for pile number 1? Okay, so we've got the 5th house, we've got Aries, and we've got Uranus energy. There's a change coming. Someone is going to be coming forward for you. I feel like you've been wondering where... Like, it feels like love has kind of been a struggle for you. Leadership skills have kind of been a struggle for you. Like, you know you're meant to lead. You know you're meant to be seen. You also have this deep inner knowing that you're meant to be loved on a deeper level. And it just kind of seems like it's been by the wayside, right? It's like... Maybe you've always wondered, oh, is it this person? Is it that person? Or it has to be this person. I know it is, but it just seems like all you're doing is waiting, waiting, waiting. And you've been taking action towards doing the necessary things in your life. So whether that's you going and showing up and learning what you can about your work, you're bringing unique and original ideas everywhere you go. This could be for your own business. This could be for your job. You're showing up in a very unique light right now, and you're being seen as a self-starter, and your ancestors want you to know that this is actually helping you draw closer not only to your love, but to your soul tribe. The more that you unlock and unleash yourself, the easier it will be for you to vibrate at a level that calls in those that are meant to be in your life for the long haul. 4:44 on the clock. You've got this energy coming out right now where you're very authentic, especially with Uranus energy here. You're so authentic that it can intimidate others, and they do feel like they have to be in competition with you. Like, oh my gosh, I have to keep up with pile number 1. How can I ever keep up with pile number 1? They're so different. Let me try to do the same things that pile number 1 does. But if you don't present your ideas and your thoughts out loud, they don't know where to go next. Obviously, it's not their journey. You're not their energy. They're not your energy. They got to figure it out on their own, right? And the more that someone tends to copy another person, the further away they get from their own authentic identity. And so with this coming out in the 5th house in Aries, there's going to be someone that just basically drops into your life and into your lap and says, hey, pile number 1, what it do? Let's go out. Let's get jiggy with it, right? No, and they're really gonna be interested in you, and they're really interested in the way that you shine your light. And so your ancestors want you to have hope. They want you to keep working here. They want you to find small things each and every day that bring a smile to your face. If you love going to the lake or the river or hiking in the mountains, do that more, right? If you like working out because it makes you feel good, do that more. If you like eating healthy foods or vegetables and fruits, do that more. This is all about doing what makes you feel good. If you like to draw, if you like to paint, if you like to write, if you like to sing, if you like to dance, whatever it is, do more of that, because the more that you play right now, the more you connect with your sacral chakra. And our sacral chakra is, this is my right to feel. You're going to feel an activation in the center like never before. Like I'm getting this sense of being on fire. Okay, like I know that's your solar plexus chakra, but it's like water is such a unique element, right? And water rules the sacral chakra, and water can be soft and gentle, but water can also be very turbulent and very destructive. And so through this, you're actually going to be creating a whirlwind, some sort of hurricane within you, if you will, where you're going to be clearing out stagnant energy. And they're saying that this is so vital for the next step of your journey to help you rebel, not only against the system, but to rebel against the societal constructs that make you feel small and unimportant, that make you feel like you have to live life in a box. That's the furthest thing from the truth. You're going to make people uncomfortable when you come up into yourself, pile number one, and your ancestors want you to do that, because their discomfort should never ever deter you from shining your light, because it doesn't matter. That's theirs to deal with and not yours, right? It's not fair for you to try to dim your light so that they feel more comfortable with themselves, nor is it fair for them to require you to dim your light so that they feel more comfortable. They can either step up or step off. And that's something that's coming through so strongly here with this combination on the dice. Okay, so let's get some cards out on it and find out what more they'd like to say. I can already feel like this is going to be one of those messages. It's good. It's a good feeling here, right? It's a very good feeling, but this was just so strong. Like, I had a couple of readings planned today, and I don't know. This may be the only one I get to today because I just feel like it. So, it's just something feeling. I got a feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night. Tonight's gonna be a good night. A feeling. Who is that? Black Eyed Peas? Yeah. So, ancestors of highest light and love, what messages do you have for pile number one? What would you like them to know? The floor is yours. What messages do you have for pile number one, ancestors of highest light and love? What messages do you have for pile number one? They want to bring you some sort of clarity. You've been struggling with a problem recently, yeah, and it's been feeling like it's pulling your world apart, and they want to bring you a solution. Like, they want you to feel like you're no longer struggling with it, whether that's a broken heart, a broken family line, loss of a job, whatever it might be. Like, they're wanting to bring clarity. That's something that's coming through really strongly right now. Let's see. Ancestors of highest light and love, what are your messages for pile number one? Thank you. I'm done. I close up shop. I'm leaving. Bye. The first card out is the Knight of Wands in the reverse, and that's what I was feeling, a broken heart. This is romantic turbulence. It flew out in the reverse. Look at that. Look at that. Flew out of the deck. Like, that's the thing. Like, this is somebody that broke your heart. This is... And remember that it doesn't always have to be a lover. This could be a parent. This could be a sibling. And I know we're talking about romantic frustrations, but a broken heart can come from anybody. And a broken heart can affect our every relationship. if we don't know how to heal it, or if we don't know where to start to heal it. And that whole idea of time heals all, it does, but we're in the business of proactive healing ourselves, right? Which means that we're looking into the root causes. Why was I drawn to this relationship that caused me so much turbulence in my life? 11:11 on the clock is a very spiritual meaning for you, okay? Ancestors of highest light and love, thank you. What messages do you have for pile number 1? Ancestors of highest light and love, thank you. Yeah, and it's been really rough for you, feeling like you need to start over. Feeling like you have to start again. On the whoa. The Ace of Cups on the bottom of the deck. What is up with you, pile number 1? It's been really hard for you to heal. It's been really hard for you to let go of someone that just did you dirty. Or that just didn't work out, that you thought was going to work out. It doesn't necessarily mean that they did you, really bad or anything like that. Sometimes what are they calling it now? Unconscious coupling. But sometimes we just decide to go different ways, but that doesn't mean that it's free from having our heart broken. Right? That doesn't mean that, oh my gosh, like we decided to go our own way, so now, we're all okay. I'm going to move the camera just a tad bit here. There we go. That's a lot better. Right? This feels like something that was like, I thought this was going to be forever. Or like a friendship. I thought that they were going to be in my life for forever. And the unique thing about this Ace of Cups is that it talks more about actually having a deeper connection with the divine and a deeper connection with source energy from where we came from, right? The creator. It's like getting really close into that unconditional love and letting that unconditional love flood into our hearts and into our minds and into our life. And when we let that unconditional love just become who we are and understand that we can accept ourselves, then we're able to live from this very pure place in the world outside, right? But we first have to take care of our inside before we can let ourselves experience that beauty in the outer realm. Because as below, so above. As within, so without. Right? This is a very wise term to live by. Rather than putting the blame on everyone else and putting the blame out there saying, oh, it was all out of my control. Circumstances that involve other people, other places, and other things are absolutely outside of our control. But what is within our control and within our grasp is the ability to show up in a profound way for ourselves, which means that we can choose to be the hero in our lives. We can choose to save ourselves. We can choose to see it from a higher perspective. But they want to acknowledge here that they've seen you have a broken heart. And the thing that's weighing the most on you right now, which is eliciting a lot of emotions. The one that's really standing out is anger and fear that you'll always be alone, and a coldness towards yourself for potentially feeling like you maybe could have done something more. And they're saying there's nothing more that you could have done here. Let's see what the other card is here that didn't flip over. Yeah. Oh my goodness, the moon here. This is talking about the mother wound, right? The nurturing. Okay, I'm just gonna tell you what they're showing me right now. They're showing me that you have a tendency to people please, pile number 1. You have a tendency to people please while chasing others in hopes that they'll see just how loving and nurturing you are. Okay, and there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing terrible about that. However, they want to bring to light that the more you live in that energy of running towards people in hopes that they'll see you, is the more that people will run away, or you'll end up finding individuals who will take advantage of your beautiful heart. If you're not careful and not able to nurture and protect yourself with self-love here, with the Ace of Cups being shown, that's where you need to start. This is what they're pointing to with the Nine of Wands coming out here in the reverse. It's like, I don't want to start again. It makes me sick to my stomach to have to start again. It makes me sick just thinking I got to go through all of that again. They're saying that when you start loving yourself fully, and instead of letting this situation put you in a place of feeling so stuck with the Nameless card here in reverse, it's like when you let them help you find this beautiful balance within yourself, you're no longer going to feel like the past is haunting you. You'll be strong. With the Three of Swords coming out here, this is indicating that this is help from the divine, right? This is source stepping in, your angel stepping in. And in this case, this is your ancestors clarifying that we truly want to help you let this wound go. Maybe you didn't get nurtured and loved the way that you needed to as a child. Maybe you weren't seen by those in your life, whether that's a Pisces or if that's a Leo or a Sagittarius, a Cancer or Scorpio here. Or we have Aries, Aquarius energy as well. They're saying that you have the ability to show up as that for yourself. And in doing so, you will help relieve yourself of the burden that this has become. Because it's weighing heavy on you. And I feel like some days are very hard for you to just get up and go about your normal routine. Like I'm feeling it very heavy in my heart. I'm feeling it very heavy in my throat chakra as well. It's like you are struggling just to do everyday things because it's like always thinking, what if I had done this? Or what if I had tried this? Or what if I did this instead of doing that? Or playing over and over again in your head those situations of the past. It's like, you know, everything played out the way that it was meant to. That's sometimes hard for us to let go of, because then we get stuck in our heads and we're like, well, but if I had said this, then everything would have worked out like this, this, and this. And pile one, what your ancestors are trying to say here is that stop and think about life. Has anything ever played out quite like you imagined it would? Most times, no. Most times, that's a negatory. Right? It just doesn't, because there's so many factors that go into it, and there's so many combinations of how things can go, that when they do happen, that's just basically how, no pun intended here, how the cards played. How they laid down. That's it. You cannot change that. That was just the luck of the draw. Right? And it's a unique thing, but it's true. It's coming through reminding you that this is you bringing it to a close. You know, we have the 18 card here, which in numerology is 9, and you have the 9 of Swords here, following by the Ace. It's like they really want you to bring this to a completion. Okay, 10 would be the completion. 10 would be the abundance of learning the lesson of understanding where it comes from, understanding what it is. But right now, it's going back and forth between these. It's very subconscious for you. This is something that's deep within your heart with the moon here. And they're trying to help plunge this out of you. They're trying to help grip onto this and pull this into your consciousness so that you can face it head on, instead of blaming yourself or feeling like you weren't enough or feeling like you're not worthy of having the love that you desire. Is they're aware of when this comes into your consciousness, you're going to suddenly see that this self-love is bringing you into a place where you understand that your birthright is to have everything that you desire. Let's get some clarifiers out here. Ancestors of highest light and love, what else would you like to say? No. Look at what flew out, the 2 of Cups. And it landed over the moon. I'm just going to leave it there. They want to bring in love. Like, they're being very clear. This is love. Whether that's romantic love or platonic love, it doesn't matter. But love in general. Love in general is the one thing that all humans crave, because we're a social being, right? Like humans are very social. We need people in our lives, you know? There's so much to that. It helps us grow. And I know there's some people out there who would just prefer to be alone, but they still benefit from human interaction, right? And that's what they're saying here. It's like they're trying to bring in someone that is on the same vibrational level as you. But how can they bring someone in that's on the same vibrational level as you if all you're doing is focusing on the pain and the hurt that's been caused, or focusing on someone that's left your life and didn't give you that energy that you asked for? What else would you like to say here? Okay, look at this. Look, I cannot make this stuff up. We have the 10 of Cups here. And the 10 of Cups is coming into that leadership energy. And we talked about that in the dice, right? Remember, I read the Tarot Marseille. It's different from the Rider-Waite-Smith, okay? But the 10 of Cups talks about being able to emotionally be sound within yourself, and you helping to heal others on a very emotional level. Like you're able to teach others how to truly grasp internal situations and turn them into fuel for the journey. And this is saying exactly that. Like, we want you to be able to understand that this happened to you for a deep purpose, that we're not just throwing you out to the wolves here, okay? With the Queen of Swords, there's a deep truth here. You might benefit from journaling or even writing this down. And they're saying here, because when you write it down, you like pull it out of you and you can see it. Then you can feel it. You can observe it. You can say, okay, this is how I felt. And what they want you to do here is to write knowing that no one is watching you, right? Don't feel bad for saying what you need to say. Even if it feels kind of cruel and ruthless, no one's reading it but you. You have to acknowledge how it made you feel, even if it made you feel dark. Right? You have to acknowledge that. If you just bury that deep inside and say, oh, no, like I'm not allowed to feel those feelings, you're denying yourself the opportunity to feel the expanse of what it is to be human. To be human means to experience the whole spectrum of emotions. Not just one or two, but the whole thing. Anger, rage, happiness, joy, ecstatic, being excited, being overwhelmed, being stressed, being afraid, being courageous. Everything in it is everything that we're meant to experience while we're here. That's the beauty of what life is. And so they're really focusing here with the Queen of Swords. I'm getting this energy. It would really benefit you writing it down. And if you have a hard time writing, like physically writing with a pen and paper, even though personally, I feel like that is the best way to get it out. They are showing me computer. You can absolutely type it out on a computer. Sometimes it's easier for people to type it out than it is to write it down. But they want you to let it go. Okay, and this is a broken heart. We're dealing with a broken heart here. Okay, they made that very clear even before we started the reading, and now they're bringing it out again in the reading. Look, and we have the High Priestess or the Popess on the bottom of the deck, showing that you are very intuitive. You're very clear about who this is involving. You know exactly what to do to let this go. We have to bring that connection from the divine in here, right? And with the World card here, this is the completion for you. This is the completion for you, is letting yourself feel what it is you need to feel. And I have a question for you, Pile 1. Why have you been hiding from your emotions? What scares you about the emotions that you're having here? And whatever the answer is, remember, it's going to be different for each of you, but I do have this energy coming through that's saying, even if it's scary for you to feel this way, that you're not alone. At one point in time, most everybody on the earth has felt the same way that you feel when it comes to this situation. And you're not alone. But you have to let the floodgates open. And you have to let it go. Otherwise, it's going to haunt you for the rest of your life. Look at this image. It's going to be like you looking over your shoulder, wondering, what am I going to do? But with the Seven of Swords coming out here, it does talk about perseverance and overcoming. Okay, so you're going to overcome this. They know that you are, but your ancestors want to make this abundantly clear to you so that you can truly let it go. It's time for you to let go. So let's get some oracles out for you here. Ancestors of highest light and love, what else would you like to tell pile number 1? They want one more of these. Okay, thank you. On the bottom of the deck, we have water signs, Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio here. Spirituality, emotion, intuition, and compassion. So you holding on to this is blocking your psychic sense, okay? This is blocking your ability to feel your emotions. It's also blocking your ability to be 100% open and compassionate with yourself, to give yourself that grace and that mercy, knowing that we all make mistakes. We all do things that we're not proud of, and we all feel ways that we're not happy about. But we can't change the way that we can feel. We can only go through it, right? That's the purpose of it. We're not trying to change our feelings. We're trying to understand them, right? And I think a lot of people have that mixed up. Like, oh, I'm supposed to be a positive ball of light and love all the time, and I can't feel anything but light and love. No, that's not true. You're still having the human experience. No matter where you believe you're from, or if you believe you're a starseed, if you believe you're an earth angel, whatever it is. Okay, none of that truly matters in this earth experience. What matters is what's going on here on this earth in this present moment. And we're getting so caught up in, oh my gosh, I'm a starseed, like I need to learn all about my homeland, and that's fine, do that, but don't let that become an escape for you from your experience now and being like, I wish I were back home. I wish I were back with the people who understood me. I wish I was back with the creatures who understood me, whatever it is. I wish I were back in heaven where God understood me. No, there's a purpose. We're here in this 3D realm right now. And that's what I feel like the ancestors are bringing this up, because sometimes you have a tendency to escape, wishing and hoping that you were somewhere else, that you wouldn't have had to have dealt with this. But you chose to come to this earth in this time to experience these circumstances for a purpose, for your purpose, for your highest good. Even if it was difficult, when you allow yourself to see the blessing in the hidden circumstances, right? It's like, the hidden blessing in the circumstances, then you're able to grow exponentially. Okay, look on. Oh my gosh, I didn't even know this was on the bottom of the deck. Woo! Thank you so much, ancestors. Thank you. We have tree with grounding. Get your head out of the clouds and put your feet back on the ground. Stop wishing to be somewhere that's not here on this earth. This is a beautiful experience, but we have to remember that with the beautiful parts of it do come extremely ugly parts, because it's a dualistic world. We live in a world of contrast. For as much low vibrational energy as there is, there's an equal amount of high vibrational energy, and then you think everywhere in between on the spectrum that keeps it all in balance. It's the balance. It's the life balance. Okay? They're saying put your feet back on the ground. Get grounded. And again, what did I say earlier? As within, so without. As above, so below. This is exactly what this card talks about. Your growth in the world is all dependent on your growth internally. Are you taking care of your spiritual needs? Are you taking care of your mental needs? Are you taking care of your physical needs? This body is your temple. It is so imperative to take care of the temple, okay? In all aspects. And it's going to be different for everyone. So do what works for you. Okay, pile 1. All right, so they want that one. Prosperity is around the corner. with Peacock. And for you, I don't feel like prosperity is necessarily a financial thing. Although for some it could very well be. You're going to be lifting the blocks on your system, which will help lift the blocks when it comes to finances, love, understanding your worth, seeing your value, these things like that. So whatever prosperity is for you, when you face this part of yourself, you're going to unlock. I keep hearing Pandora's box. And I know Pandora's box is really scary, right? Because Pandora's box in mythology, it ended the golden age. I think it was the golden age, but it ended an age and it came into a new age. But that's exactly what you want. You want the ending of the old you, right? You want to come into the new transformed you. Thank you. Armadillo spirit. And it's interesting because in this deck, and I don't know if it came out or not, we'll find out, but in this deck, the armadillo means groundedness. And so that's what I thought when this came out. It's so funny because armadillo in this deck is groundedness, and we got grounding tree, and then we have armadillo spirit here with setting healthy boundaries. It is so important for you to say no to the things that aren't serving you. And didn't I say that at the beginning? They were pointing out that you have a tendency to be a people pleaser. And part of that comes from feeling like you have to change yourself so that other people appreciate you. But that's not fair to you, because in most cases, people aren't changing themselves to appease or accommodate you. So why, pile one, do you have to do that for others? Like, that just kind of seems like a double-edged sword to me. Like, damned if you do and damned if you don't. So I'd rather be comfortable in being who I am than change myself for others, right? And that's what they want you to focus on here. Being playful, yes, and this complements what we got with the 5th house. Enjoy life. Go out there and do the things that make you happy. What makes you happy? So since we're talking about love, let's get a couple of love oracles out here. Ancestors, what else would you like to say for pile one? Thank you. What else would you like to say here for pile one? No! Oh! Did you see how that flew out on top of armadillo grounding? Oh! I'm doing a little happy dance right now. I just gotta do a little happy dance because whoa! 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 I get so excited. This stuff, I've been doing this for years, and it still excites me like the first time. 33:33 on the clock. Look at this. Grounding flew out and landed on armadillo. And what was I just talking about? And if we'll see what this card is. I'm curious to know if this is armadillo too. But if not, I will go and find it in that deck for you specifically so that you can see its groundedness. We have stability and security, performance, growth, and endurance. You may deal with low back problems, right? You look, oh look, and armadillo's number 3, and didn't I just say 33:33 on the clock? Whoa. Next level. Thank you, ancestors. Thank you, source. Next level. You may be dealing with lower back problems, and when you have lower back problems, that is a spiritual sign that you're feeling unstable within yourself. So it's very important to find grounding and to find stability with self. And remember, stability does not come from outside sources. It doesn't come from money. It doesn't come from having a house. It doesn't come from having a job. It doesn't come from having a car. It doesn't come from outside things. Stability is an internal feeling. You have to feel stable in who you are and who you are out in the world and who you are behind closed doors. Those should always match up. One shouldn't be different from the other, right? That's when authenticity is at its finest. On the bottom, look, Cupid's arrow, have faith, love is coming, surprise invitation, and struck by love. Oh my gosh, isn't this what I said at the beginning? Whoa, I can't with you, pile one. I'm just like so freaking excited about your pile. I was talking about how someone's just gonna come in so fast. You're gonna be like, hey, What it do? Didn't I say that too? I want to go out with you. Like, oh, let's for real. For real. For real. Let's get a shadow aspect of this reading, source. Oh, okay, you're getting 2. Oh, wow. I'm done. This is insane, pile 1. The amount of synchronicities, like, leave me a thumbs up for the amount of synchronicities that are going on in this reading. It happens all the time, but sometimes they're next level, and this reading is next level. We have grieving. It didn't work out the way you imagined. Feel the loss so you could rebuild your dreams. Isn't that what I said in the beginning? It didn't go the way that you thought it was. You thought this was going to be a forever connection. They were going to be there for forever. Your dreams matter. You matter. Yes, this hurts. And yes, it's overwhelming. And yes, it breaks your heart. But if you let the world stop when you get a broken heart, you'll never allow yourself to grow into the amazing person that you're destined to be. And that should always be the fuel for you to move forward, knowing that there's something better for you. You know, there's this picture that goes around that I love because it's so true, and it's a picture of Jesus and a little girl, and this is not about religion, okay? So take it as it resonates. I'm not talking about this for religious purposes. I'm talking about this because this picture is so extraordinary. There's a little girl, and she's holding on to a tattered little tiny teddy bear. It's just like this big, right? It's so tiny, she can barely hold it in her hands, but it's so tattered, and she loves it so much. And Jesus is reaching out his hand, and behind his back, he has this massive teddy bear that he wants to give her. But she first has to let go of that tattered bear. But she loves that tattered bear so much. But she doesn't know Jesus has something else for her. She just knows that she loves this tattered bear so much. And it's so symbolic to our lives because oftentimes that's exactly where we are. Source, your guides, your angels, your ancestors, whoever it is, they're trying to bring you something that is 20 times better than what you had. But because that's what you know and that's what you're comfortable with, you're like holding on to it for dear life. We had down the rabbit hole. Crazy drama makes for wild adventures, but not peace. How far are you willing to go? And the 5th house does touch on drama, right? And love is not a series of extreme outbursts and tears and hurt and pain and up and down silent treatment and dehumanizing modes where people just treat each other like crap. That's not what love is. Love is peaceful. Love is showing up for each other, and love is being an adult when you need to talk about the hard things. But if all you've known your whole life are traumatic relationships, and you've only ever seen traumatic relationships, it doesn't mean that they were without love. It just means that you're seeing a toxic side of love and believing that that's the only thing that exists. And they're saying that no, like that's just going down this rabbit hole of never-ending stress. It'll age you. It'll make you feel like, oh my gosh, I'm never going to have the love that I want. But then when you go and look for the love that you want because you're so used to this wild roller coaster ride, you're like, oh, that's not real love. When it really is love because it's so calm and it's so kind and compassionate. You're like, but it's not exciting. Love wasn't ever meant to be exciting like that, okay? Not like that, anyways. Alright, so they want one angel card, and then we'll go ahead and take a look at what we've got. Yep, I already knew it. This was just going to be one of those readings. I don't often do these very, very long ones, but if you guys like these very, very long ones, definitely let me know down in the comments below, okay? And I'll try to at least bring a couple out a month. We have Maya on the bottom. Schooling, studying, and education help your life's purpose and personal growth at this time. The angels will guide you and help you with this process. And we were talking about that earlier, like if you're studying the stars, or if you're studying astrology, or if you're trying to find an escape in occult knowledge and ancient wisdom, we're not trying to find an escape. We're trying to help ourselves learn solutions. right? And so that's again what I feel like your ancestors are pointing out here with this, okay? We had Bridget turn over. It says, caution is warranted. Look deeper into this situation before proceeding further. So don't take any harsh actions right now. Again, I was feeling this in my throat chakra, and we have this pointing towards the throat chakra here with this blue color. So let's see what we've got coming out here for you. Venus. Look, I cannot make this stuff up. Give and receive love. Find value and see beauty. You know, I know that I sang this before on here, but it's coming out again. It's like this song, and I think it's by Boyzone is the name of the band. It's like, love's like sand making pearls. I've got all the time in the world. All the time in the world. So, like, it's okay that it's not rushing in, even though they're showing that it's going to. You've got all the time in the world, because love is like sand making pearls. A little tiny piece of grain of sand gets inside of a clam, and they just keep swirling it around, swirling it around, swirling it around. And one day, a long time from the time that sand got in there, it turns into this beautiful pearl. Right? That's what love is. It's kind. It is patient always. It's not judgmental. It's not making you feel worthless. It's not over here making you wonder, do they love me? Do they hate me? Like, what's going on? If you're ever wondering these things, then it's time for you to really look at, are there red flags that I've been pushing underneath the carpet because I don't want to look at them because I have a codependent attachment? Ooh, we have air, we have open-mindedness, objectivity, and learning with Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius coming out here. So this is something, again, idea coming through that it is connected with your heart chakra. The air signs rule the heart chakra. Also showing that you've had mountains to climb to learn new things. So something about learning coming through here. And I feel like that has to do with your stability in the world, right? Changing your perspective. Seeing this from a higher light. And we saw that earlier. I even spoke on that. They're like wanting you to see this from a different perspective early in the reading. Whew, I love this. Yeah. Okay, so we've got the fierceness with Wolverine coming out with number 5. And 5 is a very uncomfortable place of change. But this image is so unique because it's like you're taking on something that has been in your life. That's my air conditioner, by the way. You're taking on something that's been in your life that you felt like you've been fighting for a long time, and your ancestors are here helping you in the spiritual realm. They want to see you succeed. Even though this is a very uncomfortable place for you, they want to see you succeed. Now, I did promise that I would look in here for the armadillo one. And it's interesting because here we go. Boom, there it is. Groundedness. Groundedness. You see that? Armadillo. I'm just going to put this out. I'll put it over here on the side by these two. Like, it would take so long for someone to really, like, determine a reading for you. Like, if they were just looking for the cards. There's just so many to go through. So, let's take a look at your love cards here. Look, engagement ring, higher commitment, eternity, partnership, and union, completion. So there's definitely a higher commitment coming in. 44:11 on the clock. And then we have the dragonfly, lighthearted and adapt, finding out and change, things coming to light and heal. So exactly what we've been talking about. You're healing something here. This is like letting yourself enjoy life again. What a beautiful, beautiful message. Let me grab the book here and we will go ahead and take a look at your oracle card. Put it over here. And if you're wondering what this oracle deck's called, it is Elena Fairchild with the Sacred Rebels Oracle. I highly recommend this oracle. It is absolutely incredible. Okay, so we're going to take a look at this. The perfection of your life. Look at this. And this makes you just feels like you're completing so many different cycles and you're letting go of so many different things. But it's like sometimes there's that one layer that's just hanging on for dear life and not wanting to let go. And I feel like that's why your ancestors had this message for you, pile number 1. So let's read this from the book. It's on page 124, which in numerology is 7, right? luck is coming if you change what it is that you're doing. We have you ever seen a storm pictured from above? It can appear to be so beautiful and elegant. This is certainly different to the ground view, which can be quite violent. So too, there is great beauty in your life now. However, at this point in the natural process, you may be experiencing it as anxiety-inducing rather than beautiful. You may sense it as internal chaos. You may feel it as something that is waiting to erupt from within, as a restlessness or anxiety that you cannot quite articulate, but sense vaguely nonetheless. Perhaps the chaos is fully fledged and a person or situation in your life is causing all kinds of havoc, upheaval, or change and uncertainty in your world. Whether the chaos seems subtle, strong, internal, or external, this oracle brings the same message. All is unfolding according to a perfect higher order. Yes, you are currently enduring a cosmic spiritual storm, which is having an impact on you. It is clearing things out, ruffling feathers, and preparing you for that lovely, super fresh, uplifting feeling that one experiences after the storm has finally passed. If you've drawn the okay, that's a different one. Sorry, there's sometimes if you've had this other oracle with it too, so I have to go past that. If you cannot believe there is anything happening, even at a subtle level, because you feel stuck, denied, bored, thwarted, or stale, this oracle brings you a message also. No matter what appears to be, in truth, there is only the unfolding, creative genius of the universe. You are not forgotten. You've not been looked over. You've not been denied, found wanting, or rejected as unworthy. The storm that needs to erupt in your own heart. Do your liberating rain dance. Rage, weep, pray, dance, paint, or sing. Express whatever is needed, however is needed, to exercise the blocked energy in your heart. Then you will call on the powerful perfection of your life path as it aligns for the next creative turn of the spiral of life. Once again, you will trust and directly experience the flower of life unfolding within you and around you. I love that. I didn't know anything. Like, I can never remember these cards because I don't get all of them that often, right? And I love how in the beginning I was talking about playing, and those are all the things that I talked about. And then we even talked about feeling rage, right? And feeling those emotions, whatever it is. And they're very clear about that. They want you to feel the depth of the emotions that are coming out for you. And they want you to stay grounded in that. They want you to stay in this place of understanding that through being grounded and healing this part of your life and this aspect of understanding yourself in a grounded way, you'll be able to let yourself unfold just like the lotus flower, right? I loved your reading, Pile 1. I'm actually really excited that Source redirected me to doing this reading today. It was so profound. This is what I see for you. If you feel like this is your reading, leave a lotus flower emoji down below and say, I ground myself in truth of my feelings and I let myself feel it all for healing. And leave me a thumbs up. I'm going to go ahead and leave it there and get on out of here. I'm sending you a gigantic, energetic hug. Know that I love you so, so, so much. And if you like these long readings, definitely comment down below and let me know. I don't oftentimes do this, but I really don't have control over this reading today. It's how it's coming. Okay, so with that being said, I'm going to get on out of here and leave it there. I want to take a quick second to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my guides for coming together to give us this absolutely amazing message. And until next time, pile number 1, stay human. Bye. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this beautiful shard of amethyst or this card during the shuffle, then this is going to be your reading on your ancestors have a message for you. Right? It is very important. It needs to come through. I don't know if you caught the intro or not, but this is like a very particular channeled message. I think I might have to close the blinds a bit here. There we go. There, that works pretty good. Okay. Yeah, so first and foremost, I want to send a shout out to anyone and everyone that continues to support the channel and be a part of this amazing tribe. Thank you so much for being here and sharing this time and space with me. I'm truly honored and blessed to have you here. And for those of you that are new, welcome. This is that reminder that we are all here having this human experience, and that this is a safe space for you to show up as your highest, most aligned, authentic, loving self. Remember that these readings are general readings, so take what resonates, leave what does not, knowing that as you interact with the channel by liking, commenting, and subscribing below, it does allow me an opportunity to directly connect with your energy and get you out more resonant readings. And if you are interested in supporting the channel further, you'll find all those links necessary below in the description box, where you can email me for a personal reading and I'll get you out further information from there. You can also follow me on over to my podcast at Scatter Love Radio, which is just a fun, chill hangout session with yours truly. So I really do hope to see you over there. And if you're wanting to become a member, they are now up and running. There's a join button down below next to where the subscribe button is or used to be. When you click on that, it will show you the 3 levels that I do have available and the options that come with the levels. You're looking at customized emojis, personalized badges, membership only posts and polls where you will get to determine future readings for the channel. You have early access to pick a card readings on 2 of the levels, and on 1 of the levels there are membership only readings. So I hope that you find something that works for you, and if not, I'm just honored to have you still supporting here the channel. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get into what is the message that your ancestors have for you. They have the floor today because they've got something important to bring through for you, okay? This is going to be a little bit longer than normal. And if you appreciate these longer readings, definitely let me know down below in the comment section that you would like longer readings. I cannot promise that every reading will be this long, but I will try to get more out depending on the amount of comments that I have of the people who do like them, okay? Awesome. So with that being said, let's get into it and find out. For pile number 2, Ancestors of Highest Light and Love, what is your important message for pile number 2? What message do you have for pile number 2, Ancestors of Highest Light and Love? What is it that you would like them to know? What messages do you have for pile number 2, Ancestors of Highest Light and Love? What would you like them to know? Okay, so we've got Pisces, we've got North Node, and we've got the first house. You've been questioning whether or not you're doing the right thing. Am I on the right path? You've been wondering, am I doing what I'm supposed to be doing? I feel good. I like doing what I'm doing. I like showing up and putting the energy and effort, but I'm not necessarily seeing anything from it. So how do I know that this is right? That's like the questions I'm hearing right now. And they're saying, yeah, you're doing it. You are following your path of purpose. You're doing what you set out to do. And it's never really truly, our path of purpose is not about what we do. It's more about becoming. And so whatever it is that you were drawn to put your energy and effort into, it has really helped you unfold to the person that you were always meant to become. With first house here, you have this energy pointing towards your being, right? Your identity, your independence, your ego, right? We're trying to help ourselves heal our emotional ego, but we don't want to rid ourselves of our ego, because our ego is part of who we are. It's part of what helps us exist here, right? It gives us our personality. And it's like you're finding harmony between soul and ego, where you're no longer being ruled by the emotional ego. You're now allowing the soul to take charge, and you're allowing the soul to guide you. And the message here is to not get too caught up in this idea of, am I doing something right or wrong, but rather, how does this make me feel? You know, Pisces energy is all about your intuition, your compassion, your feelings, you know, looking at it on a deeper meaning and really getting beyond the illusion of what is. And right and wrong is a label in the human world, because we label things to bring understanding to them. It's not necessarily that labels are right or wrong. It's just simply a way for us to understand them on a deeper level. And so your angels here, your guides, your ancestors, are trying to point out that there's no need for you to look at it in terms of labeling, but all about how are you feeling internally here, because that's what's being led here, especially with the first house next to this Piscean energy. Right? There's this new beginning that's about to happen in your life. And it's because you've changed the way you view the world. You've always been working on becoming a better version of yourself. And you're really truly learning how to embody that by listening to your spiritual team, by listening to your intuition, by letting your psychic senses take play here again. That balance between ego and soul is coming again and again. Like I keep feeling that. I keep hearing that. You're allowing yourself to be romantic. And when we say romantic, it's not about necessarily giving romance to another person, but giving romance to ourselves, like whining and dining ourselves, buying us that clothing that we always wanted, getting a piece of lingerie or fancy underwear, or, buying ourselves that really pretty dress or that really good looking outfit that we always wanted, and those really nice suede shoes. Because yes, why? They're suede. It's things like that you're romancing yourself. And through romancing yourself, you're allowing your old soul to emerge, the wisdom within you to emerge. And you're allowing yourself to connect deeper into the Akashic records. But I feel like you've been watching readings wondering, am I doing the right thing? And people are telling you, yes, you're doing the right thing. And you're like, yeah, but you feel the need to dig deeper into that because to you it's a label, and you're feeling that feeling of being a label, right? And it's like, okay, they're labeling it as I'm doing the right thing, but why does it not feel like I am? And it's because you're trying to put words into what your soul is showing you, and there are no words to be had here. It's a much deeper understanding. And it's like, even if you were to deny yourself what it is that you do, right, you would still be called back to it time and time again. And that's you answering the calling. You've learned so many lessons that it's like you can't deny yourself what it is that wants to be expressed. And so maybe the question is am I doing the right thing? Maybe that's not the right question. If you want to say right and wrong, maybe a better question would be, am I expressing myself fully? And do I feel like I'm expressing myself fully? Because this is really about connecting with your internal feelings, that navigation that we have within us. Because oftentimes in the past, you've absolutely been self-sacrificing. You've been your own worst enemy. You have been someone that has really either been self-pitying. And again, I'm not here trying to make you feel bad. That's not what this is. Your ancestors are pointing this out, where it's like maybe you've played the victim before, and that's a part of that old emotional ego coming to place. Well, am I doing the right thing? Because I'm so used to doing the wrong thing and victimizing myself because of that. And rather than victimizing yourself here, which is something that I feel like you've definitely been healing, it does show that you've been healing that with the North Node coming out and being present. It's more or less, it's all about your expression. The more you express yourself, the more empowered you become. And the more empowered you become, the easier it is for you to leave victimization in the rearview mirror. And that's what they really want you to focus on right now. It's not about being right or wrong, because there is no right or wrong. There is just becoming. And the more you become, the freer you feel. And the freer you feel, because that's an unknown feeling in the life that you've had here so far, it's almost like the more uncomfortable you become, because it's just a different feeling than what you felt in the past. How many times can we say feeling in one sentence? I mean, for real. All right, so let's get some tarot on it for you, pile number 2. My apologies, I hit the camera. Alright, so ancestors of highest light and love. What are the messages that you have for pile number 2? There's a new offering here. And they want you to see it as a blessing. To not get in your head and overthink this. It's easy for you to overthink it, and it's easy for you to become detached because of traumas from the past. Because people have manipulated you. So this could be a person, or it could be money coming in as well, is what I'm seeing here. And you could have been a victim to your money. In other words, like living paycheck to paycheck was kind of the norm for you. And seeing any kind of raise in your finances is something that's unusual. Because you don't always have that feeling of I'm worthy of something more. Right? It's like, well, money is the root of all evil is what I'm hearing. And it's like understanding that it's actually just a tool. And when it becomes the root of all evil is when our money rules us instead of us taking charge of it. And so they're showing me here that you have this opportunity to let go of an old belief that maybe had been stubborn in you, which is something that was passed on to you from prior family members here, and opening up to that. And it was something that really left you feeling like, okay, well, they all want, like, okay, so before I draw cards here, they want me to explain this. And I'm going to stop shuffling because they really want me to explain this here. They're showing me what's going through is that it's like you keep getting this sense of like, okay, money is the root of all evil. And just, this is the example they're showing me. And that's something that was taught to you either by your family, by church, by other people, whatever it is. And yet all those people that were teaching you that also demanded money. So they're giving me a church where it's the tithing. This is the example. And yes, I understand tithing, but also tithing ourselves is so important. But they don't teach that when you go to church. They just teach that it's imperative that you tithe the church. And so there's this like conflicting message where you're telling me money is the root of all evil. And yet every Sunday you pass around this bin where you collect money from us all. So what is it really? And that's the conflicting energy that's coming in. And it doesn't always have to be money. It could be with anything, but you keep seeing people do this thing where it's do as I say, not as I do. And that's what's got you questioning if you're on the right path or not, because it's like, well, I'm doing what I feel I want to do, but I've also been told so many conflicting messages in my life. Like I feel conflicted by this. And they're pointing out that the confliction is coming from a sense of the unknown. And the unknown is scary. The unknown is unknown. And so it has a tendency to trigger that conflict within you. Let's get some cards on it. So, ancestors for pile number 2 of highest light and love. You have the floor. What would you like to tell pile number 2? What messages do you have for pile number 2? Thank you. Ancestors for pile number 2 of highest light and love. What messages do you have for pile number 2? What would you like to say? Thank you very much. All right. Let's see what we've got on the bottom of the deck. Yes, we have temperance. Learning how to balance light and dark. The shadow and the bright. The light within us, right? This is a learning that both play an equal part on our journey, that one without the other doesn't exist. That if we find a way to blend those opposites within us, that we can fully let ourselves be who we are. And she's holding the 2 of Cups here, right? The water is flowing flawlessly in between them. And it's feeling that you're finally finding a way to understand that without love or with love in my life, it's about how I feel. And she has this right over the sacral chakra here. Well, it's really in between the solar plexus and the sacral chakra. And again, that's the blending of opposites, the fire and water element. How can we take action while still feeling good about it and knowing that I feel the way that I need to feel, and blending those two things together? And so it feels very pointed towards you getting the inspiration here from source. You know you need to take action. You get inspiration from your guides and your ancestors here. You know you need to take action. But then there's that sinking feeling that comes in once you've gotten into the rhythm of, oh my gosh, like there's a conflict here. Okay. And that's where it's you're learning to blend these opposite energies, and temperance is all about that, learning how to blend without blending. It's like, how do you blend oil and water? They'll never blend, but it doesn't mean that you can't find some, what's the word here, they're saying semblance, but I don't know if that's the right word. It's they're the even though they don't blend, they can still meet each other, right? Like the line here, they can still meet each other, and that can create its own blend. It's like the Red Sea, how it meets up with the other sea, and I don't remember what they are, but you know how they just, there's a line right down the middle. They both exist separately, but there's a point where they merge, but they don't actually blend together. They just merge, and that's it. It just basically, you go from the dark to the light, from the light to the dark, and it's like this constant back and forth, and understanding that that's what it is. And so they want you to continue to do what you're doing, but to let go of needing to label every action that you have. And of course, we have the King of Wands here on the bottom, which indicates self-sabotage. This is being your own worst enemy. This is what you're healing, the conflict that resides inside, the conflict of energy that was never yours in the first place. You were holding someone else's energy. You were holding someone else's idea of what life should be. Like, oh, we all say this, but we all really believe that. And that's why they were giving me the money is root of all evil, because so many people are taught that. But there's that conflicting message that comes through where it's like, okay, my parents are telling me that money is the root of all evil, but they're always saying about how they need more, they need more, they need more. And so it's like, really, is it? Because if you need it, why do you need more if it's the root of all evil, right? It's the concept that's behind it. Yes, and we have the nameless card here showing that this, look, if he swings his scythe here, he's cutting through this idea of you being your own worst enemy. And that's what's happening here. It's like you're understanding that this belief has been rooted deep within your psyche, but you're purging it now. You're letting it come out. You're letting go of that idea, and you're finding a new sense of being in this place of understanding. Like, if it is money, you see it as a tool. You see it, okay, this is a tool that can help me do what I need to do to live my journey. And I don't have to see it as something that's going to overtake me, because I take control of it. What else here? Yeah, okay, so we have the 7 of Wands in the upright. Yes, and we have the 8 of Swords in the reverse. Okay, this makes sense. And the Tower, or the House of God, which you know as the Tower, in the reverse here. Facing reality. It's been really hard for you to heal this, because there's been a sense of you trying to control the outcome. And when I say that, it's not necessarily something that you've consciously been doing. It's a subconscious feeling that's coming in from deep in your thoughts. Like, oh my gosh, like I cannot face reality as it is, right? There has to be this one or the other. And that's what it keeps feeling, this back and forth energy. It's like it has to be one or the other. And it's something that it's not even that you at your soul level really believe this. It's the subconscious that's coming through, where it's the conditioning that you've been through. And it's been really difficult for you to find the deeper part of that. Where is that coming from? And they're really showing this is something that happened when you were really young, from ages 5 to 8. There's something that's traumatic that came through. So maybe there's an argument between your parents here in regards to money. Maybe there was an argument between your parents here in regards to just life in general. It's some massive decision that was made, but it created some sort of alter ego within you. And when we talk about alter ego in this way, we're talking about your emotional ego coming forward and creating a mask so that you can be presentable in a way that's not showing the most vulnerable aspect of yourself. And so to dig that up now feels very unsafe. Even though you're on your way there, it feels like if you tap into this, that your whole world is going to fall apart, and it's going to be destruction and chaos and havoc. And yet this is the place where your healing begins. And this is the place where you can begin to understand why it is that you've done a lot of the things that you've done in your life, where you've taken action here, why you made that decision over there, why you chose to say these things all throughout your life. You're going to begin to understand that. And it was all for a sense of control based on a deep fear that came from you when you were a young child. And they want you to face this, like, even though this is very uncomfortable, like, it's like every time it comes up, you have a tendency to distract yourself. So seeing, like, playing games or turning on the TV or turning on your music really loud or just doing something else. And it's always when this energy begins to bubble up, you shove it back down by going and doing something else. Like, to sit in silence with that energy as it bubbles up just feels like, oh no, I can't, not today. And that's your emotional ego trying to protect itself and say, I created this alter ego. I created this mask to save us from impending doom. And it's okay to remind yourself now that you're no longer in that situation and that you are here to take care of your inner child. And that's what they're saying here. And I love that they started your reading with the Seven of Wands, because the Seven of Wands and the Seven of Swords are very similar energy. One is about your thought process and one is about the actions that you take. And it's all about perseverance, overcoming. No matter what comes in your way, like, you're going to face it head on. And with the Seven of Wands being what starts your reading here, they are talking about you will take action to face this. You will take action, but they really want to bring it to light here, because there's this sense of, if we don't tell you, how can you know if we don't tell you? And it feels like you've been running away from it for so long, you don't even know that you've been running away from it. Right? It's just that discomfort that's coming, and there's this unknown. And when you sit in the stillness, that all begins to come out from within, and it's just easy enough for you to just distract yourself from the reality of the situation, right? Because again, when we look at the House of God in the reverse, at a base meaning, it really does talk about not wanting to face our reality and our subconscious. As much as we might not think that it is a part of our reality. In fact, it is one of the reasons that we are living in the reality that we're living in, right? It helps manifest our day-to-day life. So let's get some clarifying messages here. So ancestors, how would you like to clarify this message for pile number 2? Ancestors of highest light and love, how would you like to clarify this? Yeah, this is going to be coming in fast. Okay, this is a fast-moving energy here, and they want you to tackle it. But they're also pointing out, like, not to move away from it, because the Knight of Wands can talk about moving away. But see how this Knight of Wands is facing towards the past, right? And this is the past. We have the future on this side, if you ever look at the readings and are wondering, right? So this Knight of Wands is running into the past. Like, we're going to run this and we're going to look at it head on, and we're going to really take that action, and we're going to be bold about it. I'm getting, if you've ever read Don Quixote, he's kind of like, the book is interesting. It's a trip, and it's really long. It is really long, but he's just so, like, naively courageous. And that's kind of the best way to put it. And it's almost like that's what they're asking you to have here, is that naive courage. Like, you don't know what's going to happen, but you know, if you face your fear and you take it on with courage in spite of your fear, that you're going to come out victorious, is what's coming through. So ancestors of highest light and love, what messages do you have for pile number 2 here? Whoa, thank you. Okay, and one more here. What messages do you have for pile number 2, ancestors of highest light and love? Okay, so you're getting 2. On the bottom of the deck, we have, look, the Justice card. With one hefty blow, everything that you've built your life on can fall apart. Right? And this is not to scare you, to say, like, oh my gosh, but I'm in my North Node. Like, is that going to fall apart? No. This is that emotional ego that we've been talking about here. Right? And it's time for you to open your heart. And it's interesting how the Justice card here is all on hearts cards. Right? She's built it all on hearts cards. And then you have the Ace of Cups coming on underneath this. It's like, here's your emotional ego. You've created so many little alter selves. And it's not something we consciously do. It's all subconscious. But it's all based on our feelings in the darkness, right? Look, here, she's in the dark. And so they're asking you to bring it into the light here and see that not everything is pretty. I mean, you've got flies here. There's this guy fighting the heart, stabbing the heart here. You have the dice over here. You have the dice back here. You have this spades card just stabbing this heart. And so they're pointing out this is something that's really affected your heart. This is something that's really affected you internally. This is something that has affected you deeply. And it's really scary for you to look at that. But if you look at this, you'll have prosperity moving forward. Anytime we see fish jumping out of the water, it really denotes abundance and prosperity. And so since it's around the Page of Cups here, it'll be new, it'll be fresh, right? And it won't be something that you necessarily known before, but you have to face that. And it's about you bringing justice to yourself and being fair and considerate to yourself in this process, right? And not beating yourself up because of the things that you've chosen in your past, or putting a label. Like, really, they keep pointing at putting a label on it. Like, that was wrong, this was right, that was good, this was bad, this was beautiful, that was ugly. It's just experience. All of it is experience, and allowing the experience to be what it is. You're definitely a very high vibrational being, pile 2. Not to say that the people who watch the other piles aren't, but the energy that I'm connecting with you, it's like you definitely understand the meaning of this without me having to explain it. But the reason they keep going over it is because repetition is key for you. It's like, because sometimes the fear gets the best of you, or the overthinking or being stuck in your head gets the best of you here. Oh yeah, look, we have the Queen of Swords coming out here. So there's this honest energy that's coming through here. A need to be completely and almost ruthlessly honest with yourself, okay? And not be afraid of that and what comes out. Don't worry about what comes out, but let yourself be completely honest with yourself. Because you are an amazing, amazing person. You have the ability to set such solid boundaries. And when you truly see your own beauty, you're going to realize that those things that were ruling over you are tiny, tiny, tiny little bumps on the road that is like making mountains out of molehills, is what I'm hearing. You're going to see just how strong you are. You know, you have this ability to vanquish your enemies. And you really do. Clarifying, this is interesting. Some of these cards came out in pile 1 too, so it's interesting energy. But the Seven of Swords, I was talking about perseverance. And so I love this because they have the perseverance here, and then they have the fish again. It's like you're going to be walking away from those things that felt very dark to you, felt very shadow-like, felt very ugly, maybe even demonic, right? Like, and I'm not trying to scare anybody. That's not what this is. It's just like, that's that feeling like, oh my gosh, somebody's cast black magic on me. Really, that's not what has happened. It's this fear of dealing with the internal and trying to let oil and water blend. It doesn't really happen, but there's a meeting point here. And if you always run from them meeting each other and just keep running back into the light, the darkness will eventually catch up with you. Like, that's just the way that it is, right? And there's beauty in the darkness. And that's the thing here. And it's like, you're no longer going to be ruled by that. It's no longer going to be something that has its hold on you. And you're going to be walking away feeling confident. You're going to be walking away feeling fresh. You're going to be walking away feeling like you can conquer the world. And like you have everything that you need here at your back and in front of you. You have all the tools necessary to go. You're persevering. Right? Perseverance in action and perseverance in mental state, in your thoughts, seeing yourself from a place of light and love, seeing your worth, seeing your value, and understanding that along all those things, that you've also been in the place of seeing yourself from the not so good. But that's just been a part of this experience, and that is beautiful in its own right because it's taught you some very valuable lessons, which is the North Node. It's learning all those karmic lessons that brought up the South Node, which was that place of we're trying to leave, but it's so comfortable because it's all we know, right? And the North Node is truly an uncomfortable place to be in, but it brings with it so much value. And that's what they're showing here, is that you're in a place of bringing in a ton of value. So let's get some Oracle out here for you, pile number 2. Pisces energy coming out once again. So you could be Pisces, have Pisces sun, moon, rising, or Venus. I am hearing that you might have Pisces in the 10th house, or you might have Pisces in the 9th house. I'm not sure why those messages are coming through, but we do have intimacy, intuition, and compassion, if I can talk. So this is saying that this is something that's very intimate for you, and that's what makes it very uncomfortable, because it's like getting to know yourself on a deeper level. Even though people may tell you their deepest, most inner feelings, to get to know yourself is different, right? That's not usually what you've had to do in the past. It's always I get to know other people, and that's easy for me. But we're not trying to do easy. We're trying to grow, right? And that's what they're trying to say here. Look, we have moon energy, and it says satisfy emotional needs, nurture self and others. But notice how self is coming first here. This is all about you learning how to love yourself deeply and to really dig into the subconscious part of yourself and let that come through into the light. And through that, healing, and when you heal yourself, you'll actually know how to heal others in a much more profound way than you already do. So may you please have some oracle cards here, ancestors of highest light and love. What else would you like to say for pile number 2? What else would you like to say for pile number 2? Grounding. You may have come from pile number 1, and if you did, I appreciate you, because these are absolutely long. But I truly do. But this is saying, as within, so without. As above, so below. So we have to take care of our internal world in order for us to prosper in the external world. And that's what this journey is all about, is finding out how to care for our roots so they grow deep into the ground, so that ourselves can reach high into the sky and really connect with source while also connecting with this world and this physical place. That's a dualistic energy, right? There's this cutting line here, but the roots also help the tree grow, but they're separate from each other by the ground, right? The ground separates them, the sky separates them, depending on how you look at it. And so there's that blending of the opposites, but they need to work together as well. And so it's something that's coming through so strongly here. They're also saying that it so when I was saying, like, you have a tendency to distract yourself when that discomfort comes up, Vision Quest here is all about you writing down your questions in a journal and taking a water bottle and going and spending a day out in nature with nothing, not your phone, not any kind of distraction, but spending a day in nature with your pen, your journal, and your water bottle, and asking these questions to your ancestors, your guides, to source, your angels, and writing down whatever answers come to you. And sitting in the stillness. This is really about sitting in the stillness and how important that really is for our journey. That's where we really find the deepest parts of ourselves, the parts that are so hidden and so scary to us. And then we find at the end of the day, just like the Queen of Wands energy, they weren't that scary to begin with, but we labeled them as scary. And so what's unseen, oftentimes, it's like scary movies. When you go the whole movie without seeing what the monster is, you're absolutely terrified. But you know, at the end, they always show the monster, and it's never as scary as you thought it was. The same thing, right? Like, I always think of M. Night Shyamalan when it comes to that. But that's that type of energy. Like, you go the whole movie, and you're, like, freaking out. You're like, man, this thing must be so scary. Must be so crazy. And what's the movie where it was actually just the town village leaders or whatever? They were the ones that were causing all the craziness. Like, there wasn't even a monster. It was just the town was trying to keep them separate from the world. And it really wasn't as scary as they made it all seem. But our imagination and our the unknown has a tendency to play on our senses. And our imagination becomes so much scarier than the reality of the situation. So sacrifice here with bull. Yeah, again, this idea of overthinking, this is something that's very much in your head, and it tends to make you feel stubborn, like, I don't want to touch that, I don't want to mess with that, I don't want to feel that. But again, with groundedness, this is so trippy. Okay, so we have groundedness with armadillo here. Grounding yourself and coming out of your head, out of this idea of overthinking, will help you find balance here. Okay, it will help you find balance on this journey. You are already in your path of purpose with shark and purpose coming out over here, peeking out. Like, it's important for you to know that you're doing what you need to do, but facing whatever this discomfort is going to help bring you some immense healing. All right, can we please get some more oracles here and turn knowledge into wisdom? You know, knowledge is power once it's put into action. I actually had a podcast about this last week that you can go and check out on my podcast at Scatterlove Radio. But it's interesting because it's like we're turning knowledge into wisdom. In order to turn knowledge into wisdom, you actually have to apply that knowledge. Because without applying that knowledge, it means nothing. And so this is about you gaining access to the Akashic records, to your internal innate wisdom that comes from within, right? From the roots, so that you can also gain access to the higher dimensions. We have act as if on the bottom with chameleon spirit number 5. You've been really good at blending in. It's been easy for you to blend in. And you're learning how to stand out. And it's all a process. And this is about saying, let your color shine, let your truth shine, but not just to others. Let your truth shine to you as well. Because when you let your truth shine to you, you get to experience a deeper aspect of your life. So we're going to get this. And this is more about, like, I keep getting money and not relationships with your reading, even though it is matters of the heart. But we're going to get a shadow aspect out here. Can we please have a shadow aspect for pile number 2, ancestors of highest light and love? Can we please have, okay, thank you. And on the bottom we have facing it. I cannot make this stuff up. It says, you know something isn't right. Don't be afraid to find out the truth. It will set you free. And we were talking about that, right? Like, you have to face this inside of you. And there's a discomfort, because the discomfort is the freedom that you're feeling when you have faced it before. And it might be like one of those things you might be like, yeah, but I've already healed that. Remember that healing is a lifelong journey. Like, there is never one and done. Like, that's not how it works. I wish so much that that's how it was, but triggers will always be present. And I believe that on that Knowledge is Wisdom podcast, I also talked about the idea of triggers and how often they come up. So you might benefit from at least checking out that podcast or checking out my podcast in general. I'm really not someone that talks about it during the middle of the readings. I always bring it up at the beginning, but they keep pushing it right now, and so here I am talking about it, okay? Archangel Uriel, your emotions are healing, which enables you to open to greater love. I will help you release anger and unforgiveness from your heart and mind. Yeah, so this is all about you healing. It's been a process for you, and you have to be kind to yourself. So I'm going to get some life and career cards for you, since this did feel like money to me. You know, in the beginning, and these are life and career, so who knows what'll come out. So ancestors of highest light and love, what other messages do you have for pile number 2 here? Thank you. Okay, they want me to stop. What other messages do you have here for pile number 2? Okay, thank you. One more, please. What other messages do you have here for pile number 2? Thank you. Your message came out fast. On the bottom, make it work. You have all the tools you need to succeed, but you have to put in the effort. You excel at working with your hands and fixing problems. And again, that's that turn knowledge into wisdom. It's only wisdom when it becomes applied, right? And so that's that same energy coming through here. Okay. Yeah, look at this. House 8, transformation, karma, facing fears and legacies. You are leaving a legacy by facing your own internal fears. That's what's happening here. And your ancestors want it to be made known to you that this is like the next step on your journey. Like you've been wondering about your path of purpose, but it's like they're not even concerned about your path of purpose. You're doing the right thing. If you want to label it with right or wrong, you're doing the right thing. What they're concerned about is your healing. And they want you to continue to take your healing very seriously, because just because you step into your North Node doesn't mean that healing goes by the wayside. And remember that you're protected. Exactly. So wasn't I saying that? Like this feeling like, oh my gosh, somebody's putting black magic on me. Someone's like using the dark arts against me, whatever it is. And they're saying like, you are so protected. That stuff gets boomeranged right back around to whoever sends it out to you. So don't trip on it, chocolate chip. We got you. Okay. This is saying remember how protected you are. We're trying to help ignite your solar plexus here. And I was saying that solar plexus and sacral chakra energy were coming through very heavily for you. Okay. So you can ground that. Scorpio energy is connected with our root chakra. Okay. And that's that grounding energy. And Pisces energy is connected, and so Sag. Pisces and Sagittarius energy are connected with the sacral chakra. Okay, this is my right to feel. And it's interesting. I know. I was like trying to, but they keep showing me. Pisces are ruled by the feet. Okay, Pisces are ruled by the feet and the journey in this world. That's why it's so important for if you have Pisces placements, you know, look at things that relate to those placements and how you can ground further into that. And if you have Sagittarius placements, Sagittarians are ruled by the thighs. And so it's all about, again, being able to strongly walk through the journey. So Pisces is about the journey itself, traveling. But with Sagittarius, it's about the ability to strongly navigate, to take those steps forward, right? Which enhances the journey in itself. So if you have Sagittarius placements, it might help you to find grounding within those as well. All right, tired. You're emotionally exhausted from dealing with everything. You deserve a break now. Yeah, so this has been something that's been very exhausting for you. So it would benefit you to find time to go out in nature and just be by yourself. Again, we have that Vision Quest energy on the bottom of the deck over there for the Earth Magic Oracle. And that is something that would really, really benefit you. It's just like turn everything off. Stop trying to distract yourself and let yourself experience this through and through so that you can really release it and then just go and maybe sleep for a while. Right? Oh, you got archangels on both. You got Uriel and you got Gabriel. You have an important life purpose involving communication and the arts. Please don't allow insecurities to hold you back. I will help you. I can't make this up. Right? Insecurities. That being unsure. Right? Self-sabotage. We got that over here with the King of Wands in the reverse. Right? Don't be insecure. You don't need to be insecure. You're doing everything right, but they want you to continue focusing on your healing. Okay, so we have progress. Look, doesn't this look like this card? The desert. There's something about the desert that is healing for you. And it might be the dry and the sense of nothing being there, right? It seems like a long slog. I'm not sure what slog means, but okay. But your efforts will pay off soon. Stay on course for at least a few more months before making a change. Yeah, so continue to heal. Take the time out. Put the effort in to heal. You're making good progress here. Harmony. It is important for you to have quiet, peaceful work atmosphere in order for you to thrive. Work at home or for yourself is best. So if you're not working for yourself or at home, find ways that you can maybe incorporate, hobbies that will help get you to that point, and knowing that it's okay for you to rest in a quiet place. But we do have this stillness, and I kept saying that at the beginning, this idea of coming into stillness. She's meditating here. There's nothing going on here, devoid of distractions. 44 on the clock as I was saying that. All the cards were opposite. We have gestures. You may be asked to help someone out, or you may need a hand. Give deserved praise to others, and you will receive recognition too. I feel like this is your ancestors saying, ask us for assistance. We are here for you. We are here to serve you. We want you to succeed. Okay? Very powerful message for you, pile 2. We're going to take a look at your ancestral card here. I call this the ancestral card. It's actually the Sacred Rebels Oracle. This is by Alana Fairchild. If you're wondering what this oracle deck is, I highly recommend it. But we're going to read this out of the book. Let's see what we've got here. Wow. Look at this. Big, bold vision. Look at this card. This is such an intense card. And it's interesting because the desert makes me think of Egypt, you know, because the pyramids are in the desert. And this was making me think of Egypt, and I didn't say it, and I don't know why I didn't say it, but that's all right. It's gone. The time is gone. It's over with. But it was making me think of Egypt. And of course, she looks like she's from Egypt, right? Like, totally looks like a queen, or what do they call the women? There's the pharaoh, and then is it the queen? I don't know. Anyways, let's read this out of the book. Yes, 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 yes. I love this already. I read the first line. I love it already. You were not born to play a small role in life. You have the ability to dream big. Even if you have absolutely no idea about how your visions can come to pass or what all the details may look like, you can access the heart and guts of a vision by tapping into your wildest dreams and surrendering attachment to exactly how it will all work out. The details are up to the creative genius of the universe. You are an active, contributing participant, but not the sole player in your life journey. There is something, a vision or an idea that is coming to you. You may worry that it is too much for you, but don't worry. It is meant to be yours. Although you might have some adjustments to make and some tweaking to do as you let go of your limited thinking, open up to a fearless acceptance of bigger, brighter, more radical, more potent possibilities of creatively living your light in the world. A sign that you are cracking out of your limited thinking to allow for a big, bold vision to come to you is that you might feel a little dizzy with shrinking limitations and expanding possibilities of your life. You may wonder if you are allowed to access so much wonder. Remember that in your healing and growing success as you manifest this big vision, you can touch the hearts of others through your presence, your inner work, your art, and your choices. It is a win-win situation. Those that are meant to live big, bold, and visionary lives need to give themselves permission to break the mold and forge newer, more expansive perspectives of what is possible, what is permitted, and what is of service. It's about letting go and opening up. Others will benefit from this. Even though it is your vision, it's not just about you. You are being asked to remember that when something is right for you, endless synchronicities and support will flow your way at the right time and in the right way. Stay open, receptive, playful, and surrendered. So again, that idea, it's right for you. You're doing what you're meant to be doing, but they want you to have that perspective of stepping outside of labels and coming more into that intuitive place and that understanding. You're about to receive or be invited to become part of a grand visionary beginning. It has the makings of something fantastic. No matter how the journey that brings this vision into reality unfolds, and there will be some twists and turns that you don't see coming, it is still helpful for you to be open to it. Trust your heart. Be still with your choices. Be still. Be still, it says. Be still with your choices, and when the time feels right and truthful, leap. This card brings a message for those who would like to further develop their intuitive sight. It is already happening. Trust in what you perceive, even if it conflicts. Look at what it says right there. Do you see that? Hold on, let me point it out. Where even if it conflicts with everyone else around you, what everyone else around you is saying on the surface of things, trust your inner perceptions. They are accurate and will be proven to be so later on. The healing process will help with this. It is a positive energy. Trust that things will be coming up roses for you, even if everything seems to be in a bit of shambles now. It's really just the essential mess before a truly spectacular success. And like, this also made me think of Egypt with the gold on the hand too. It made me think of the fight scene from The Mummy. But I'm hearing that song right now. I think it's by oh my gosh, I cannot remember their names, and I love this band, and I guess their names aren't important right now, but it's like, hey, look, Ma, I made it, made it, made it. He says, everything's coming up aces, right? Like, he says that. It's by the same group. Oh my gosh, I love this group. Why can't I remember their name right now? Where is your boy tonight? I hope he is a gentleman. Maybe he won't find out what I know. You were the last good thing about this part of town. They also sing that. We're going down, down in an earlier round. And sugar, we're going down swinging. I'll be your number one with the bullet. A loaded God complex, cock it and pull it. Okay, so I guess they just want the songs right now because they're really not showing me the name. And I know the name, but it just, when I wanted to say it, it went away. It went, se fue, it went away. Okay? Anyways, you're about to embark on an insanely amazing journey. And it's going to have ups and downs. But there's no need to label anything. Because you get to experience life. And if that's the only label that you hold true to yourself, you will be able to experience everything that comes at you and see there's still beauty in the hardships, right? This was an incredible message, and I pray that it found you well. If you feel like this is your reading, leave a little beetle emoji, because I think there's a scarab, but I'm not sure, but leave a little beetle emoji down below and say, I allow my vision to be big and bold, and I dream because I am a limitless being. So you let your ancestors know you heard this message loud and clear. Leave me a thumbs up down below. I'm going to go ahead and leave it there and get on out of here. I do want to take a quick second, though, pile number 2, to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my guides, and above all else, the ancestors for coming in on this message to give this to us today. And with that being said, until next time, pile number 2, stay human. Bye. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this piece of amethyst right here, or if you were drawn to this card during the shuffle, then this is going to be your reading on the message that your ancestors have for you. It is an important message, as this was a channeled message from it was from the ancestors and from source that I had to do this message. I had another pick a card that I was going to do first, but no, I had to change directions. So this is a must. It's for someone out there. So I hope it finds you well. These are going to be a lot longer than normal. The other 2 piles were very long, so hang with me. The messages have been very deep, and yeah, just amazing, truly. So I do want to say thank you to anyone and everyone who's been following the channel and being a supportive part of this community and this tribe. I'm truly honored to have you here, and I'm so blessed to be sharing this time in this space with you. And for those of you that are new here, welcome. This is that reminder that we are all here having this human experience, and that this is a safe space for you to show up as you are in your highest, most authentic, loving self. If you remember these are general readings, so please take what resonates, leave what does not, knowing that as you interact with the channel by liking, commenting, and subscribing below, it does allow me an opportunity to directly connect with your energy and get you out more resonant readings. If you are interested in supporting the channel further, you'll find all those links necessary below in the description box, where you can email me for a personal reading, and I'll get you out further information from there. You can also follow me on over to my podcast at Scatter Love Radio, which is a fun, chill hangout session with yours truly, and I really do hope to see you over there. Memberships are now up and running, so if you're wondering how to become a member, there's a join button down below where the subscribe button is or used to be. And when you click on that, it'll show you the 3 levels that I do have available, as well as the options that come with each level. You're looking at customized emojis, personalized badges that appear next to your name. Oh, and I've been forgetting to mention this, but you get priority comment reply. You will have membership only posts and polls. You'll be able to help determine the outcome of some readings on the channel in the future. I promise I can talk. I have a channeled message for you too. So also 2 of the levels you do get early access to all pick a cards, and on 1 of the levels you do get membership only pick a card readings. The channeled message for you, pile number 3, was they were making it very clear that it was hard for you to accept and be at peace with your beauty. Like, there's been some sense of judgment coming in where you're judging your outerly appearance very, very deeply, and that there's actually a gift in the way that you look. And remember that other people see your beauty, even if you're struggling with it. And, you know, maybe you've always worn a lot of makeup to help you feel better, or you've dressed in a certain way to help you feel better about yourself. But then when you go home and you're looking at yourself in the mirror, there's this sense of judgment that's coming from within, and you're judging yourself so harshly. And the ancestors are bringing this up because they want you to begin to see yourself as a gift, because you truly are a gift, and there's a reason that you look the way that you look. There's a purpose for that, and you know, that could be to inspire others. That could just be to show the world that you can be authentic and loving of yourself as you are in this moment. You don't have to change and become some unattainable dream, because I do feel like you maybe in your past have really gone overboard with either diet pills or maybe skin serums. They're showing me someone here may have gotten Botox or tried to get some plastic surgery done and just still is totally unhappy with it. I'm hearing the cryo freeze, something along those lines, like trying to get rid of stubborn belly fat, arm fat, leg fat, like trying to look like a thin model because you feel like that's what's going to make you happy. This is definitely has to do with the physical looks. They're very, very, very adamant that I say this before we get into the dice roll. So they do want to focus on that, and they want you to remember that loving yourself in this moment is so important, that you are your harshest critic, and no one out there is judging you the way that you've been judging yourself. And body image is something that has been put onto us by society, and knowing that that's actually not yours to carry, that it's society that has conditioned you to believe that you have to look a certain way in order to be accepted, to be loved, to be appreciated, and that's the illusion. And they want you to focus on, why is that illusion taking up so much space in your mental body? Because it is coming from the mental body, okay? And it's affecting the emotional body. And so if you've been someone that's kind of overdone it on, say, diet pills, or like dieting, you're doing fad diets, or, you know, the one thing that keeps coming to mind here are those 30-day challenges or the week-long challenges that are completely unattainable. Like, they're showing me like the 1,000 sit-ups a day challenge, and they're showing me like the 1,000 crunches or the 1,000 squats and something like that. It's like you could really get involved in those, but then as soon as you stop, all your results and your hard work, it goes away just as fast as it came, because anything that's worth having in life takes a long time to get there. And if you get results quickly, it's oftentimes not worth having, okay? And so they want you to focus on, this is the long and steady journey of you going towards loving yourself in this moment, and that you're not going to wake up tomorrow after saying, I love my body fully today. You're not going to wake up tomorrow with this deep love for yourself, but if you continue to show up, look at yourself naked in the mirror from all angles, and love the worst parts of yourself that you judge, and love the parts of yourself that you already love, one day you will begin to see how beautiful you are, and how where you're at is truly a gift. Okay, so let's go ahead and get the dice on it and see what comes out for you. But that channel message, they were like, no, you got to say this. That's why I couldn't even get my intro in. It was like, channel message, channel message, channel message. I was like, okay, so we're going to leave it open to your ancestors. They've got the floor today. So ancestors of highest light and love for pile number 3. What messages do you have for pile number 3? Ancestors of highest light and love, what messages do you have for pile number 3? These are important messages coming through today. So ancestors for pile number 3, what do you have? What messages do you have for pile number 3? We've got the 3rd house. We've got the moon and Sag energy coming through here. Yeah, okay, so right off the bat, they're showing me that this already comes from the mother wound, and it comes from being judged harshly by friends and siblings. You know, I'm just going to go with the example that they're giving me here, but if it doesn't resonate, the example, just remember that it can be applied to your situation. I'm just going to tell you, pile 3, and I love that we've got 3rd house. You've got a bit of the ugly duckling syndrome going on. Right? Like when you were a child, you might have been gangly and long and awkward and chubby and all these things. And because of that insecurity that happened when you were a child, which we see here with the 3rd house coming through, right? This is schoolmates, this is siblings, this is friends and peers from when you were a child. It's early learning, how it's affected your rational thinking mind, your communication, the way that you let yourself appear in the world, the masks that you wear. Okay, and so it's like if you were all those things and you got made fun of a lot, you know, like, okay, so say you were chubby. This is the one they want me to use because it is one that's the most relatable. But remember, it could be anything. Maybe you had buck teeth. Maybe you had an awkward smile, or maybe you wore braces, or maybe you had glasses, and you know, but they're showing me here chubbiness, like if you were always made fun for being chubby, and even in your later years, even if you carried that weight with you, like it became a part of deep hate for you here, right? And it's something that you're very harsh towards. And I don't know why I set it up like this, because I actually have a method here. Yeah, that was weird. But I feel like they wanted the moon next to this, showing how it was very subconscious for you. Like it was something that was very conscious that you did when you were young. But because that was a long time ago, and you know, a long time ago could be even 10 years ago when you were a kid. But it could be as far back as, you know, I have the age gap on my channel is huge. So this could be even 70 or 80 years ago. When I say it's huge, okay? Like, which I thank you all for showing up so much. But, you know, it's like it went from being something you consciously did because of how others were making you feel to something that became a habit and very unconscious and very just almost like an autopilot, right? And so they want to bring that to light. This is something, and that's really been an underlying message today, is bringing the subconscious to light. It's like they're freaking out in the spirit realm right now. They're saying like, whoa, hold on. There's some things that we got to bring out. There are some things that we have to point out for the collective. They need to hear this. They need to know. And so for you, pile 3, it is all about your image, like how you see yourself physically in this realm. How you appear physically in this realm has been very difficult for you, right? And this could have been even from neighbors. This could have been your family's friends. Everybody could have mentioned the way that you looked, had something to play on that. And so it created this energy where you became very disrespectful for yourself. Okay, and we see that here with the Sagittarius energy, very harsh energy, very hasty to judge, very restless in your intelligence towards your own body image, right? It's been hard for you to see yourself from a different light because you judged yourself from so young, which isn't fair. That's not fair that someone's ever put in that situation. However, fair or not, it is the case in a lot of places and in a lot of lives. And that's unfortunate. But now we're coming into a place, you're here, and they know that you're ready to face this. They know that you're ready to let go of this. Okay? And there's this idea that maybe you're lazy, or that you are lacking the ambition to take care of it, and so you're finding any way that's easy for you to do what you need to do in order to change your image so you fit in, right? This is like a very hasty decision that you make. And that's why I kept getting that, like those 7-day challenges where you do these insane routines. And Sagittarius energy is all about being active. And I love that it came up here in the dice because it feels like a clarifying message. You know, if you have Sagittarius placements in your chart, to be active, like walking, hiking, exercising, these are all good things to feed those Sagittarius placements that you have. I know I'm a Sagittarius rising, and so when I am doing yoga and when I'm being active, I feel a lot better because of those things, and generally just our temple in general. But this feels like with the third house here, it's fueled by needing to fit into your peer group, needing to fit in with young childhood friends, needing to fit in because there was so many people that mentioned something about your image, your being, and you took it so personal, which I don't blame you for that. Your ancestors absolutely do not blame you for that. There's no blame here saying it was your fault. Pile 3, 1313 on the clock. They're just saying that this is something that has caused a huge unstable upset in your life. And it's like this wonder and this feeling like, oh, when I lose 10 pounds, like then I'll get my love of my life. Or when I finally become, you know, beautiful in my eyes, then I'll finally have everything that I want. And it's like, there's no world that exists here in this physical realm where that will ever be the truth. Where when this happens, then I'll be happy. Because it's not ever going to be that way, pile 3. And that's what they want to focus on. And there's a greed that's been following this, and the greed has really affected your physical body in various ways. You could have had times where you've taken challenges that have made you feel great, but because it's always chasing, it feels like I'm chasing that next thing, I'm going after that next thing, I'm running towards that next thing here, that it's like I can't deal with the emotional imbalance that has been brought into my life of this. And the moon directly points at the inner child and the inner mother, the need to use the inner mother to nurture the inner child, which we see here was the one that got the judgment, was your inner child. Okay, your child self and your inner child is the one that's carrying that burden right now, which then affects you in this physical realm. And so they're pointing towards it's time for you to nourish yourself. And the moon governs the stomach, it governs the breast, it governs the female reproductive organs, the uterus and ovaries. So this is what it feels like. It's like your chest. You're focusing too much on your chest. One thing I've noticed about Cancerians, they always have big breasts, the women, but they have little butts. Okay, like that's just all the Cancers I've ever met in my life. Also, Capricorns are like that. So I do feel like there's a need to want bigger boobs, or there's a need to want a bigger butt, or there's a need to just want to alter your physical appearance in some way, shape, or form, but in an unnatural way. You might be like, well, working out isn't unnatural. No, it's not when done in a healthy way. But when you're bringing a lower vibrational mindset, which is what we're being pointed out here to that type of working out, you can work out in a very unhealthy way. There's no need to show up for hours to do 1,000 of the same workout. It is more beneficial for you to show up for 20 minutes, 5 days a week, and you're going to see results. You know, and if it has something to do with it's not losing weight, they're just pointing out that working out and being physical here will help you feel more confident in yourself, but to do it in a healthy way. Like it's almost like a plea. Please be healthy about the way you show up about this. We have seen you put your body through hell and back again, and we want you to love yourself so deeply, and we want you to see just how amazing you really are. And I don't know why I just got so emotional, but I feel like somebody's crying on here because they needed to hear that. Oh, it hit me so hard. Be kind to yourself, pile 3. Be so kind to yourself. You are a genuine soul. And you are so kind to others, no matter how they look. You are a kind soul. You deserve to show up that way for yourself. 1717 on the clock. This is intense. I'm not mad that you're pile 3 at all. Like, I'm actually really glad. This has been an intense reading all day. Oh, just a second. Let me grab a drink of water. Okay. Let's get some tarot on it. They want you to see that you are a gift to the world, though. That's the one thing that keeps coming through, is that you are a gift. If you already feel like this is resonating with you, leave a broken heart emoji down below with the wellness heart and say, I am a gift, as your affirmation. I am a gift. Okay? So ancestors of highest light and love, what messages do you have for pile number 3 here? What else would you like to say here for pile number 3, ancestors of highest light and love? Okay, thank you. Yeah, there's just this harsh energy. Like, people have broken your heart and you've almost gotten so used to that, being treated a certain way because of your physical body, because somebody has to mention it. And you might feel like that hero, here she goes mentioning my physical body, but it's not about, there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with the way you look. There's nothing wrong with your body. You're beautiful the way that you are. And I kept hearing that song before we started. You're beautiful. You're beautiful. I don't know who sings that song. And I hear the Akon song coming through too. So damn beautiful. Beautiful. What's a... Yeah, that's what they wanted me to say. That's it. So, ancestors of highest light and love, what messages do you have for pile number 3? Whoa, okay. You're going to get 4 cards because they, like, all flew out together. Like, they're on it. They're like, look, these messages have got to come out. Okay, so let's put that there. Let's see what's on the bottom of the deck. Wow. Look at this. We have the 6 of Swords in the reverse. This is a greedy mindset. And Sagittarius energy can be greedy. It points towards greed, right? And greed, not in a bad way, but it's like almost like the emotional ego is taken to heart that I have to treat myself this way. And that's a form of gluttony. Right? A glutton for punishment is what I'm hearing right now. It's like you're almost like a glutton for punishment, and your ancestors want to point that out, that this is all in your mind. This is a mindset, a perspective of self that's imbalanced, right? 6 is the number of balance, harmony, resolution, solutions, seeing yourself through eyes of love. I always say that. Number 6 for me was always about seeing yourself through eyes of unconditional love. And I bring that up so much on this channel. Okay, like that's something that's coming through so strong right now. And they want you to be able to see yourself through eyes of love. But look, we have Virgo energy, and Virgo is connected with the 6th house, which is health and foundation. I'm not surprised to see this, but isn't it interesting that the Hermit is in the reverse here? Not wanting to introspect on this, not wanting to dive deep on this. It's easier to stay in this energy that you've always been in rather than healing it. If everybody else thinks this about me, then it must be true. But this journey is all about finding the illusions that set us up for failure and asking why those exist within us. And that's your answer. If everyone else thought this about me, then I have to believe it. That's everyone else's problem. That is not your problem to take on, pile 3. At all. It's everyone else's problem to deal with. But look at it. It's made you feel stuck. We have this idea of harming the inner child again, the inner child wound, not having confidence, not being able to be warm and lighthearted for yourself and see yourself in this light of love and wondrous, beautiful energy. The sun is such a bright card, such a happy card. So in the reverse, you're looking at it from this grave energy. It's just a very harsh energy of feeling stuck, feeling like I can't get free. And not being able to set firm emotional boundaries with others. You know, if this happened when you were a child, you would never have known how to set emotional boundaries with each other, with anybody. Because it's hard for us to teach that. Like, it's unless you have parents who understood that, you're not going to learn that. And that's why we have so many traumas in the world, is because most parents didn't know that. Because that's someone that, like, you learn from a psychologist, and most people don't want to go to a psychologist because then they feel like something's wrong with them. But taking care of our emotional well-being is so important here. And now they're pointing towards setting solid emotional boundaries with yourself. Again, coming back to that idea, if everyone else believed that, then that's their problem. That is not mine to carry. This is already a profound reading. Let's see. Yep. We have the Ten of Wands in the upright. I'm actually really glad that it's here in the upright. We have the Page of Swords in the upright. Interesting. Okay. The Empress. I'm not surprised by these energies at all. Ooh, and we have the Knight of Wands coming out. Okay. Let's talk about these two. You know, there's somebody in your life. There's someone who sees you and has tried to encourage you to see yourself from a different light. And you trust them. And you've been through it with this person. So whether this is a spouse, a boyfriend, girlfriend, a significant other, this could be a best friend, this could be a sibling, a mother, a father. Sagittarius energy once again. So it could be a Sagittarius who's doing this. Okay, it could also be a Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Could be a Taurus, a Libra, a Leo, or Aquarius. Okay, but it doesn't have to be, but really Sagittarius energy here, okay? Really. It's just someone who sees you and loves you for who you are. I heard grandma. Oh my gosh, that came in so loud right now. Grandma. I get the whoa. Okay. So it could be a grandma for somebody. That came in so loud right now. Okay, so they were always trying to tell you that you're beautiful, but it was like one person, and it was like this one person up against a whole bunch of people. And you see, the Page of Swords in this position is so unique, because you see how he has the wand, like, blocking this off, and he has the sword over here, like, he's about to cut his own head off. He's, like, in this place being stuck in his mind, but he's also trying to defend from this energy, and we'll get there. Okay, but here's what's happening is that he's saying that I'm not ready to face this. I don't want to see this as my reality because I'm getting so much other energy here. I can take action, right? The wands are all about action. Someone was helping you. This talks about having someone that's your ride or die, someone that you're through thick and thin, the two peas in a far out pod, y'all. That's what this talks about in the upright. And then you have this energy here where it's very immature energy, very naive energy coming through, saying like, well, I'm not sure which way to go because everybody's telling me one thing, but you're telling me I can accept myself. So I don't know, like I want to be able to see myself the way that you do. But what's really affecting me is what everyone else is saying here. And so it's been really hard, and you've been actually blocking yourself from this, and it's actually disconnected you from your root chakra and feeling like you belong here in the world. And with this, with the Empress, so this could be a mother energy coming in that was really harsh about the way that you look. Or it could have been a Taurus or a Libra coming in that was very harsh about the way that you look. And, you know, the Empress is the mother of the tarot. She's like the goddess in the tarot, like takes care of everybody, is there to nurture them, but is also there to help guide them in a very profound way. And it's interesting here because your sword is on this side. It's showing that what this person had to say to you impacted you in a very profound way. And in reality, I want you to see the unique thing about this card is that whoever this energy represents, they really thought that they were protecting you from the world. Okay, like they really thought in some weird way, even if what they said was ridiculous, they really believed that they were protecting you from the world. And they didn't know how much it affected you because they thought if I'm harshly, what I feel is being honest, but it's actually harshly feeding an illusion, right? This is someone who's very impulsive by nature. I'm just going to take that step. And in turn, they fed this energy right into you. And what you did is that you internalized that as a child, right? You have child energy here with the page. You have a leader with the Empress. Okay, and then you internalize that. When you internalize that, you became very impulsive about the way that you look and trying all different kinds of fads, all different things to make it look different, to be different, to appear different. And so we have this energy here that it's from the past. Look at how his horse is facing towards the past. He's reluctant. My apologies, 1 second. Okay, so what's going on here is that the horse is pointing towards the past here, which is this Empress energy. And it's showing that from the past, you'll be able to move forward. But the interesting thing about this knight is he's very reluctant to move into the future because of superficial items, because of superficial beliefs, internalizing superficial things. And our physical body is actually very superficial. Our physical body is not what makes us who we are. It's just what houses the magnificent being that we are. Okay, and it's important for us to take care of it, but to take care of it in such a caring and loving and compassionate way. And so you see here, it's like you're trying to move away from this, but at the same time, this energy is what has left you staying stagnant and also trying not to let this overcome you, but you find at times that it is still ruling in your life. And that it's difficult for you to move beyond this energy. And so what's coming through here is that your ancestors want you to know that you are so much more than what this person has said to you. This person has put into your mind that it's all about the material world. And your ancestors are here with this message saying, no, 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 that's not right. This material world is where the experience happens. But what it truly is the spiritual world allowing you to experience a deeper version of the material world and to transcend that belief that you have to have a certain look or you have to be a certain way or you have to dress a certain way. Those are all just illusions that can keep you away from finding out the truth about yourself. And this has been something I do see that you've been trying to heal, but I also see that it is very deeply rooted. This is a very young person. Okay, this is something that you could have been in your teens when this happened. It could have happened between the ages of 6 and 10. It could have even happened between the ages of 3 and 6, or from the time that you were born, where people are always talking about, oh my gosh, like pile 3, they have such big ears. Like, oh my gosh, pile number 3, they have such a weird nose. Or, oh my gosh, pile number 3, they're chubby. They're going to be chubby their whole lives. Or, oh my gosh, pile number 3, like they have such a weird teeth. Or, oh my gosh, pile number 3, they have such funny feet. Or, you know, like whatever it is. And they're just saying here, like your ancestors coming in and saying, like, hold on, we need to alter the way that you're seeing this. Now your reading is already gone and I haven't gotten clarifiers, but I'll go ahead and grab some clarifiers real quick and then we'll move into the oracle. So ancestors of highest light and love. Okay. We have the Ace of Swords. They're just saying this is the truth. They just want to point out this is the truth. This is finding you clarity here. Listen to, and look at how it landed on this. And I just want to point out here that this oracle deck, if you didn't catch the intro, there's purpose to me using this oracle deck. I was actually going to use my talisman oracle because you know how much I love that. But I was told by the ancestors to use this because this is the oracle deck that I used to connect with my mom and my grandma. Okay, like this is the one that I have used. I got it for that purpose, but you see here you have the daughter, the mother, and the grandmother coming through here. Okay, and it's interesting that this is the energy I got from this was a grandma. It came through so strong. Okay, and then this card fell out right here like this. So you have this energy where it's like they want you to feel and believe that what this person was telling you is the truth because they saw your soul, they saw your heart, and that made you more glorious and beautiful than any human body and meat suit, if you will. They cared about you and they loved you. And it wasn't just because they loved you that they said these things. They were speaking a deep inherent truth to your soul, planting a seed for you to find. And that's what they wanted here. And again, this idea, she's still very young here, right? It's sweet. It tasted sweet. It was something that you could enjoy. It was something that, yeah, you held on to. But at the same time, there's this fear that maybe it was just a big lie because, oh, they're supposed to love me. No, there was something more than this. They were there, or they have been there on your journey to be that person to support you because you were getting it very harshly from somewhere else. They want you to succeed with the Six of Wands here. They want you to find that the truth in the fact that this was an ally in your life. This is someone who was supposed to be there with you through this, like this. Okay, we talk about the Ten of Wands being in the upright as somebody that goes through life thick and thin with you. Like, there is no separation from you two. You both become stronger through the hardships together. And whether they're still here or not, they're still spiritually walking beside you, which could be why this was an ancestor's message and it was so important to come through. Okay, yeah. So we have the Knight of Swords coming through in here. If you've been with me for any amount of time, we know my basis meaning for the Knight of Wands is be your own damn hero. No one is going to save you from this belief of yourself. You have to save yourself from this belief. It's not even yours to carry, and yet it has become so deeply ingrained. It has affected you on every level. Okay, and they're just saying like it is so important for you to save yourself and be kind and compassionate, but also being honest with yourself that I truly believe this because there was someone who was whispering in my ear for so long. And then we have the Five of Cups here, which is the networking card. This talks about networking with people of like-mindedness, right? So it might help you to join a support group. You know, and I don't normally bring up support groups, but it came in so strong here to join a support group to help you through this. Like, you know, I just heard eating disorders, and I should have said trigger before I said that, but, you know, it could have been an eating disorder. It could just be like a body positivity support group. This could be just like, so you can see other people and witness that you're not the only one that struggles with this self-image, but that body positivity is a thing. The body positivity movement is huge, and not everybody's on board with it yet. There are a lot of very judgmental people out there, but the body positivity movement is so profound because it's helping us to alter the way that we see the flesh side of people. Because what you look like on the outside does not reflect who you are in the inside in most cases. Okay, and if that's how you feel, don't feel bad about that. Like, that's a common thing. You're so much more beautiful than your body. And I can't say it enough, and I feel like I keep repeating it, but I feel like, again, repetition is key for that to really sink in for you, pile 3. Look, and we have the Six of Cups. Oh. This is from your ancestors saying you were so loved. And look at how this little, I don't know, this little creature here is holding a mirror up to her. And she's looking into it, but it's like almost like, okay, I don't see what you see, but apples are a sign of abundance. Again, you are the gift. Okay? You are the gift. As you are, you're here to elicit some new change in the world. And maybe you're here to help others with their body image too. Once you finally find contentment with where you're at, because I feel like healing is going to be a true lifelong journey for you. And it won't be free from its triggers. And it won't be free from those moments where you doubt it. But you can find true contentment with yourself and see that you really are the gift. The candle just went out. So I don't really have room for that up here. But let's go ahead and get some oracle cards on it. Okay, I want 2 of these. Okay, so I guess you're going to get 3. On the bottom of the deck, we have fixed signs with Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. Stability, persistence, loyalty, and dependability. It's time for you to be loyal to yourself and persistently show up, right? Persistently give to yourself. Let yourself see the rose that's inside. You know, roses still have thorns. No matter how beautiful a rose is, it can still prick you. It can still leave a scar. You may still have scars your whole life, but that doesn't mean that you cannot come to a place of contentment. If you're wondering about that, I believe it's called Santosha. Look that up. Look up that practice of Santosha, okay? It's very powerful to learn about. Look at this. Flipped over. Strength. Do you understand how strong you are? You've overcome so many obstacles. You've overcome everything else, but this one thing, it's like, nope, I have to believe what everybody else says of me. But it's like everything else, like you have overcome going after your dreams. You've overcome trying to find balance in money. You've overcome all these different things in your life, and you are so strong. And you've made it out of so many horrible situations. And you are so amazing. But this one thing is just hanging on by tooth and nail. And they're just saying, like, understand and celebrate just how incredible you are. You're going through a transformation here. You know, ending cycles here with the rabbit. Transformation here with the butterfly. Finding the wisdom with the owl. Can you see the owl there? You're about to gain a new sense of yourself through this journey and seeing the truth of your beauty. Okay, they want me to shuffle these for whatever reason, so I'm going to shuffle them. Okay. I don't know why, but we're just going to go with it. They've been pretty adamant on your reading, so I love you, Pile 3. I hope you know that. And I'm honored to have you here. And I mean that. I don't know what you look like physically, and I love you. Because I know the truth in your heart. And that is so much deeper. And I hope you understand that. We have companionship on the bottom with dogs. So you definitely have someone that's been in the shadows. You know, and again, this is like Sagittarius energy to me with the arrow. You know, Sagittarius is the archer, but it is also the centaur, I think. I'm not 100% sure on that, but it's definitely the archer. And so this could have been a Sagittarius in your life that definitely tried to make a difference or has been trying to make a difference, but definitely feels like the overwhelm of fighting against the belief in how deep it is in your psyche. They love you. They care about you, and they want to see you succeed, and they want to see more than anything for you to love yourself. All right, let's get some. Okay, thank you. On the bottom here, look. The miracles are endless because you were the gift. We have number 6 in numerology with 15. Seeing yourself through eyes of unconditional love. Look at this cow with the flowers all over it. It knows it looks good. Why? Because the spirit is what matters. The spirit, not the body. And I know this is so specific, and I apologize if it's not resonating with you, then check out one of the other piles. But this is just so specific coming through here. I can't deny that. Like, I can't. Let's get a shadow aspect for this. Whoa, okay, thank you. They want 2. I'll take it. like a long road. You have a long way to go before you find what you want, but the journey helps you grow. And didn't I say that? Like, it's a lifelong journey for you. You're not going to wake up one day and be magically healed. It's just, you're going to wake up one day and you're going to be stronger and wiser. And you're going to feel much better about yourself. And just remembering that that's a part of the journey. Right? Caution is warranted. Look deeper into the situation before proceeding further. And I feel like they just want you to slow down and come into this place. Like, are you taking care of yourself fully? Are you loving yourself fully? I'm going to get 2 of these love cards. I'm going to kind of do a little bit different for you, pile 3, than I did everyone else. But let's get, okay, thank you. Okay, ancestors, can we please get one more of these cards out for pile 3? Thank you. On the bottom, we have the Runner. Fear of intimacy, running away, intensity and letting go, and turmoil and fleeting. You're running away from this. It's been something it's come up many times, and you still run away from it. You still fear facing it. And then I'm going to check out these cards, and then we'll get some Pantha oracles on it. Okay. All right, let's see what we've got going on here with your oracle cards. I keep feeling Chiron energy coming through as well, so I'm wondering if it's coming out in the cards. If not, they definitely want me to talk about it. You're a wounded healer, or a wounded warrior, right? And through that wounded energy, you're healing, and it's deep hurt and deep healing. You actually allow others to heal on a very deep level. No! Look at this! We have Sagittarius energy again! Optimism, exploration, and freedom. So Sagittarius energy is so relevant to your reading. Sagittarius with the dog card. I'm going to pull it out. We have Sagittarius energy here as well. So, and I love how the first card I draw is Sagittarius coming up over Sagittarius energy. Just so profound. All right, Jupiter, Sagittarius energy again. If we get 9th house, I'm done. I'm throwing these cards out. We're just going to turn it off here, okay? Look, grow and expand. This is what they want you to do. They want you to grow and expand beyond this mindset that it's naive, right? And, you know, I keep hearing that ignorance is bliss, but you're learning that this ignorance that you've had from being a child that was once blissful and innocent because you didn't know any better is actually very detrimental to you. You are learning that. Okay, and that's something that's so good, and it's not to be mad at ourselves for that. We don't know until we know. That's just life, right? Mercury, think, learn, network, and communicate. And this again comes back to networking. We have the network card out here with the 5 of Cups, talking about really connecting with others who are dealing with the similar struggle that you are. There are plenty of people out there. You can connect with people who will help support you through this. Also, we have the 3rd house, which is Mercury energy. We talk about that really affecting the way that you see yourself, communicate yourself to the world, but also how you think. The rational mind, right? Look, fear, hyena coming through here. It's been really difficult for you to move from a poverty mindset into a prosperity mindset. And it's just this idea like I'm always going to be in this lack and suffering because everybody else sees it differently than I do. But you were actually put into this place that doesn't deserve your energy. This is your energy. You're beautiful. You're amazing. You deserve the bright light. You deserve seeing yourself through eyes of love. You don't deserve to carry that really heavy energy. You just don't, pile 3. And you all know me. When it comes through, I'm going to cry because I feel it. Okay, I feel it. I feel the emotion. Freedom is yours. Look, freedom with horse spirit, and you're pile 3, and we have number 33 coming out here. 333. Creativity, your angels and ancestors are with you. Your ancestors want you to know this message. They want it to sink into your heart, and they want you to know the truth. They want you to see how amazing you are. You're a wild Mustang, and you don't deserve to be caged by someone's fear. You don't deserve to be caged by people telling you that you don't belong because of the way that you are, the way that you look. You never deserve that, Pile 3. Never, not once. You deserve to run wild and free and know that you are strong and beautiful and majestic. And maybe the world doesn't deserve your energy, but you deserve to let your energy shine. Pile 3, I love you so much. I had to take off my glasses here and wipe my face. Look, I got tears on it, you see? Wow, can you see through that? See all the tear marks? Anyways. Let's see what the shadow aspect is coming through here. Crumbling. What you've built feels like it's falling apart. It's okay. You have the strength to build a new strength. It's gotta fall away. This has to fall away. You deserve abundance. You deserve beauty. Exit plan. Someone wants out, but they aren't making a move yet. Be prepared for sudden changes. This comes back to that running energy, like running away from what this has brought into your life, like running away from the belief, running away from the truth of it. It's been hard for you to heal this because it's scary. Like, it's a core, right? With crumbling here, it's like pointing towards this core feeling that's been inside. Like, if this falls apart, this destroys my emotional ego at its core. And we have to be okay with that. And you have to remind yourself that you're not in this situation anymore and that you're your inner child's protector. And that you're here to help experience freedom. And that you love yourself. And it's so important to remind yourself of that. Paradise, happiness and joy, playfulness, enjoying each other in honeymoon phase. This is you with your higher self. Like, your higher self is trying to come in and let you enjoy. And that's my air conditioner, if you're wondering. But it's coming in to try and get you into this place of truly being curious and being non-judgmental toward yourself and how you show up each day. Hammer, sabotage and rebuild, persistent, working on it and repairing. Yeah, so you're definitely repairing, but it has been something that you've sabotaged yourself in the past, and you're rebuilding. With crumbling here, that makes so much sense. It's falling apart, but now you're working on repairing it. And your angel card is Oceana. Take action. You are in touch with the truth in this situation, and you need to trust your gut and lovingly assert yourself. Lovingly assert yourself. And this is the ocean, which is our emotions. And the turtle here saying it's going to take a while. It's slow and steady. With the whale here, I think this is a blue whale being shown here. It makes me think of take a break. You need to get out of your day-to-day routine and really draw away from this energy that you've been in that's surrounding you. Get a fresh outlook. Maybe go to the ocean or go to running water somewhere that's near you in nature. And really just sit with yourself and let yourself experience this. Okay, so let's get some. Your reading's going to be longer than everyone else's, so cool. We're going to get some Pantha oracles just for some further clarification on your reading, because I had such a huge channel message for you in the beginning. So, ancestors of highest light and love for pile 3, what further messages would you like to tell pile number 3? What further messages would you like to tell pile number 3? Whoa, okay. Thank you. Okay, they want that one? Yep. And that one. That one just flipped over when I threw it out. Sweet dream, satisfaction, comfortable, and lazy day. They want you to rest. They want you to really rest because they feel like you've just been really pushing yourself to the limits. Okay, and I mean, we're not taking like a permanent break here. That's not what we're doing, but we want you to rest and recoup your energy. Like, that's okay to come back to yourself. So let me put these over here. Let's look at the ones that flipped over. Commitment flipped out first. We have binding, obstruction, and contract. And it's interesting because it's something that's been holding you back, and you've been trying to push against it in any way possible, right? That's definitely what this feels like. We have hesitation, decision, confusion, and worry. You know, it's like the angel and the devil on the shoulder. That's what this card fear looks like too. It's like the angel and the devil on the shoulder. And it's been easy for you to listen to the negativity, right? That's the duality with number 2. That's the duality that's been in your life. But they're asking you to come into this place of listening to the truth of the situation, which is the angel. Listening to, you deserve to be loved. You deserve to love yourself. This is my right to love and be loved. This is my right to feel. This is my right to belong. This is my right to take imperfect action for myself. This is my right to speak my truth. This is my right to see my dreams. This is my right to connect with a higher power. Okay, saving. We have preservation, collection, and meanness. Yeah, so I do feel like you've been working on other things as well here, but they're saying here, like, this makes you feel like you're going to find your one person to grow old with, like you're going to find that person that goes through thick and thin. This is also the clarification here that grandma was coming through trying to save you. And this is the only way that she can say it right now in this way, with the cards, so you can physically see it. I'm trying to save you. I've been trying to save you this whole time. I want you to see I've been giving you little seeds of gold to remind you how incredible you are. And it's just a memory, remembrance, commemoration, and reunion. You definitely remember this. You remember that someone has said this to you. Remember that someone was trying to make you feel better about yourself. And I feel like it's interesting that those two came out the way that they did, or at least the way I stacked them. And just showing like you remember this person, you remember grandma, or you remember this family member, you remember this friend, you constantly remember them. This could be an older friend too. This could be someone that would be like a grandma to you, or a mother who loves you very deeply. We have withdrawal, quit, awakening, and rejection. And I feel like this is something they want you to quit from. It's an addiction for how you treat yourself. You know, when we talk about addictions, they don't have to be drugs. It doesn't have to be alcohol. It doesn't have to be anything that's physical. It can literally be a way of being treated. It can be a way that we're treating ourselves. And I feel like that's what they're saying, to quit this, because there's an awakening on the horizon for you, pile 3. Yeah, buoy. I'm not surprised that this came out. Embarrassment, gossip, and unwillingness. So you've definitely had people who have made you the butt of their jokes. And, you know, the cigarette here too. It's like they've definitely made you feel really bad, and they made you embarrassed to be who you are. And that's not fair. You know, one thing too, pile 3, a question to ask is, were the people who were telling you this, were they models? Were they people who had amazing looks? And I want you to be dead honest with yourself here. Were these people who, you know, are people who were in the space that they were trying to get you to go into? Were they really? You know, and that's something to think about too. If they weren't, then why let that impact you so much? And I know from being a child, yes, but sometimes as an adult, we have to ask ourselves, why am I letting this impact me so much? Daydream, optimism, illusion, and delirious. They're just saying here, dream of a better life. Dream of a better you that loves you, and don't fall for the illusion. Inducement, persuasion, bribe, and temptation. Yeah, this is something they did. They bribed you to believe that this energy was right. And it's time for you to have a new strategy here. Planning, prediction, and mind reading. You know where to go. You know what to do. Okay? And don't let people determine what's right or wrong for you. You get to pick that yourself. So we're going to take a look at your card. I'm going to read this from the book. This is from the Sacred Revels Oracle by Alana Fairchild, if you're wondering. So you can check that out. I definitely recommend this. This is such a great deck. But let's see what your card is. Against the Grain. I love this for you. Alright, so let's see here. against the grain. I'm just going to leave it here so you can take a look at it. There's the birds under the water there. I don't know if you can see that. And number 4 is all about stability. And you can really see the paint marks when I get it up that close, which is kind of cool. Nothing is perfect. It might seem perfect from far away, but when you get it up close, it's not. And that's life. It says you want birds to be able to fly underwater. You want love to trump power. You want humanity to relate to each other as equals and recognize the sacredness in you and in the world around you. You want to unleash the beauty that hides even the ugliest of scenes or sentiments. Wow. You want to make possible what others say cannot be. You are a radical dreamer, a sacred rebel, and you bring the light of a more positive future to this world. However, this can have its burdens. Deep within you, you may feel like you don't really fit in with the rest of the world. Perhaps your sense of how things can be and how they really are is so different to the smaller minds or more fearful hearts of many others that you rarely receive for all that you offer. This might make you feel frustrated, thwarted, or lonely at times. The universe so loves you for your unusual take on things, for the quirkiness in you that dares to honor that which is different and that renders the impossible possible. You must never, ever lose your unusual ways and become dry, serious, appropriate, and conventional. Not even for appearance's sake. Look at that. Exactly. For you would lose your essence. You are here to show that life is about so much more than conventional success. You are someone who lives and breathes in the depths of creative waters. You need to lose yourself to the flow of music, nature, dreams, imagination, and fantasy. Through art and literature, meditation, dance, and sensual surrender to the sacred waters of the ocean. And we got Oceana, the angel card, coming out here. I love this. This is so incredible. The waters of the ocean, the river, the lake, or even the bathtub. You must go against the grain. It's just your way. You are not one of the followers, but one of the agitators. Irritate them. I'm just going to tell you this right now. Irritate them all. Irritate them by loving yourself. However, yours is not a forceful of disrespectful chaos. You are a loving catalyst. And by simply being yourself, you constantly remind people that there isn't always another way. This comes with a particular guidance that you are meant to be exactly as you are. Look. Hold on, I lost it when I brought it up here. You are meant to be exactly as you are. You are meant to be the black sheep, the rainbow sheep, or even the wild wolf in the flock of sheep. The daring butterfly spirit calling to the caterpillars, that is you. The price you pay for the gift of individuality is that you must take care of it and guard it so that you are not dulled down and conditioned into playing at being something that you are not. If this has happened or is threatening to happen, this oracle brings you comfort. You will always dream of birds that fly underwater. You know that the true nature of your being can never be changed. At most, it can only be hidden for a time. Now is the time to accept who you are and allow your truths to be freely expressed. Don't worry about the effects of going against the grain. When we are who we are in truth, we attract the support, the protection, and the energy that we need to survive and thrive. Your power comes from aligning your outward self with your inner truth, not with the general consensus. I cannot make this stuff up. You will then find other dreamers, other wild butterflies, and atypically colored sheep to join you in conjuring better visions for our world. I cannot make this up. You are an incredible, incredible energy, pile 3. Never ever doubt that for a second. Okay? You've lost so much. by believing that you're not beautiful, by believing that you're not handsome, by believing that you're not magnificent in this body. You are so much more than that. And there are so many people who have been influenced, touched, and changed by your beautiful energy, myself included. I want you to stand strong. I want you to stand proud of being different and not looking like everyone else. I want you to remember that you are the gift. Okay? This is what I see for you, pile number 3. If you feel like this is your reading, leave a little present, the little package present down below with the bow on it, and say, I am the real gift. So that you let others know that they're not alone, and you let your ancestors know that you heard this message loud and clear. I'm giving you a huge, huge energetic hug. Truly. I'm going to go ahead and leave it there, though, and get on out of here. I do want to take a quick second to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my guides. And above all, I want to thank the ancestors for coming in and giving us this roller coaster, amazing reading. Because it really was. But it was awesome. And with that being said, pile number 3, until next time, stay human. Bye.